I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal for how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the result. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who be caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcasted like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's the #1 chief rocket in Knicks universe, your main man, Uncle Freezy. Welcome to the Knicks at Night podcast. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's get this September started off right. Y'all want this party started right? Y'all want this party started quickly, right? What's good? What's good, y'all? Let's get this September off to a flying start. Right, I know it's August 31st, right? But you know how it is. When a lot of people see this, they'll see this is a September 1st video. But y'all want this party started right. Y'all want this party started quickly, right? So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. And if you got some loot and a stick of juicy fruit, somebody say, "Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Scream! Ah!" What's good? All right. What's up with our chant? What's up with our chant, man? Blue tears, orange tears, blorange tears. Bam. Let's go. Let's go. Shout out to the R&B sensation, Delano Steele Jr. in the building. The artist behind the hit single Hood Goddess. What's good, DSJ? DSJ, what's good? Alawine's in the building. King Poppy, what's good? I see you. Kerry Cox is in the building. What's good? What's good? I see y'all, man. Jerry Fitz is in the building. Rich boy, what's good? What's good, y'all? Yo, my man, Stafford Don is in the building. Stafford Don, what's good? It's my brother right there. Stafford Don is in the building. What's good? What's good? Stafford Don is in the building. I hope ain't nothing but peace and blessings surrounding Stafford Don. That's my guy. Dre is in the building. You. So I have a question to ask you guys, Knicks fans worldwide. Listen, I'm not going to beat you to death with Donovan Mitchell talk. Ain't nothing there. I've been seeing people doing it for a minute, trying to get something out of something that's not there. Ain't nothing there. All these insiders and outsiders and sources and resources and shows and all this stuff, trying to get something out of the Donovan Mitchell thing, and there is nothing to be had. It is what it is. Dre, like, he right. They trying to strike a rock for some water. Ain't nothing there, bro. Ain't what? I do have something though for you smart Knicks fans that are passionate. I have something for you smart Knicks fans that are passionate, man. Do you want a scoring machine or a clutch performer? Right? Do you want a scoring machine or a clutch performer? And don't try to tell me both. Listen, the option is not both. I want both, Uncle Freezy. I want both. I don't care. Those are not the options. Who saves the Knicks? A scoring machine or a clutch performer? Who saves the Knicks? A scoring machine or a clutch performer? Dre says, do we get more context about the roster or just flat out one versus the other? No. I'm going to show you the difference. Y'all see this? Y'all see this, right? Do you want, where is it? Oh, there it is. Do you want this? Do you want this?
To the Bulls foul. No. Anthony for three. Bang! That one goes down and the game is tied.
Do you want that? Do you want a scoring machine? Do you want a scoring machine? Do you want a scoring machine? Now, mind you, that scoring machine hit that huge shot against Chicago Bulls, and that game was absolutely meaningless. That shot, bang, it goes in. That shot was absolutely meaningless in the grand scheme of things. It was a feel-good moment by a scoring machine. Right? It was a feel-good moment by a scoring machine. Right? That shot by Carmelo Anthony did not win the Knicks an NBA championship. It didn't even push the Knicks to the NBA Finals. Right? That shot by Carmelo Anthony, I'll play it again because it's a dope Knicks moment, bro. I love it. Right? Watch this with me one more time.
Knicks down three. Should the Bulls foul? No. Anthony for three. Bang! That one goes down and the
Carmelo Anthony is a scoring machine. He hit a shot over, I believe that was Taj Gibson, right? That was Taj Gibson, right? That moment will live in my mind forever. Right? I will never forget that moment. Alawan says, Melo was clutch and a scoring machine. It still takes a team to get to championship level. Yeah. Otherwise, you're wrong on this one, bro. Carmelo Anthony was not clutch. He was a scoring machine, though. And he deserves all the credit and praise and all of that stuff that goes with all his accomplishments in New York. I love Carmelo Anthony. But in a clutch moment, we needed 2 points over Roy Hibbert. Melo got stuffed at the rim. That was not clutch. I'm not going to point out all of his moments and all that stuff. No, I ain't going to point it because Melo did his very best while he was here. Sherwin says, Sherwin, don't do this, man. Let us have a conversation, Sherwin. Sherwin, let us have a conversation, man. Sherwin says, Melo was a very selfish, inefficient black hole that didn't defend. Come on, Sherwin, let us have the conversation, man. Sherwin, let us have a conversation, man. Sherwin says, okay, we got the point. We got the point. And Aloha says, I knew you was gonna say the Roy Hibbert. Yeah, but it's not just the Roy Hibbert thing, man. It's other moments where we needed Melo to step up and be clutch, and he wasn't that. But was he everything that we wanted and expected? Yes. Yes. Carmelo Anthony was everything we wanted. Carmelo Anthony was everything we ever dreamed of, bro. Those first few years as a Knick. Man, a lot of us loved Melo, man. We loved Melo. We still love Melo. Kind of wish he was here right now. This ain't no shade at Melo. But there is a difference between a scoring machine and a clutch performer. There is a difference between a scoring machine and a clutch performer. Just because you're a walking bucket doesn't mean you have that championship DNA. Right? For instance, who's more clutch than Steph Curry? And Jerry Fitz says, are you asking Robert Horry or Paul Pierce? I'll take Paul Pierce. No, what I'm asking you guys is, what do you guys prefer? I don't have an opinion on this. I don't have an opinion on this. Or let me put it in a different way. I don't have an opinion that I want to share about this. Right? Because this is about you guys. This is you guys' question. I mean, we can kind of speculate about Donovan Mitchell stuff, and we can sit up here and grasp at straws, chase butterflies, a secret sauce, and Utah close to Danny Ainge said that I don't want to do that. Out of respect for the audience. Come on, man. I don't want to do that. I kind of like y'all, right? I kind of like y'all. So I don't want to stretch stuff, but I do want y'all to answer a question. Do you want, or let me ask you this. Let me fold it into two separate questions. Do you feel like this Knicks roster needs a scoring machine or a clutch player? And do you specifically want a scoring machine or a clutch player? Right? All right. So here's part two of it. Do you guys want a scoring machine or a clutch player? Do you feel like the Knicks need a scoring machine or a clutch player? Right? I'm going to play something. I just want you to check this out. Check this out.
I think we see Willis coming out. Here comes Willis. And the crowd is going wild. Arnett to read on the forecourt. Right side from 20. Jumps. Yes. Willis has hit on his first two. He bullets one down. Court that is intercepted by the Busher. Fast break for the next to Busher on the drive. Leads Reardon. Driving shot is good.
All right. I'm going to rewind that back. I want you guys to watch that one more time. One more time. Watch the Garden. Watch Madison Square Garden when Willis Reed shows up. Watch this.
I think we see Willis coming out. Here comes Willis.
Look at the Garden.
The crowd is going wild.
Look at the Garden.
Reed on the forecourt, right side from 20, jumps. Yes.
Willis Reed was never the same after that. Right? He had a torn muscle on his thigh. He probably shouldn't played. It was a game 7. He played anyway. Right? Willis Reed scored 4 points in that game. He hit his first 2 shots. He might have scored more than that, but he hit his first 2 shots. The clutch performance in that game was Clyde Frazier with 37 points. Clyde Frazier had the best game of his career in that game 7. That was clutch. Right? Right? So I'm asking you as a Knicks fan, which one do you prefer? Do you prefer the Carmelo Anthony getting in the zone and knocking down that 3 in front of Taj Gibson? Bang! 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 It goes in! Right? Or did you prefer Willis Reed on one leg coming out of the tunnel, the Garden absolutely losing their mind in a game 7 against the Lakers, coming out and giving his best effort on one leg? Which did you prefer? Which do you think the Knicks need? King Poppy is telling us which one he prefers. Bang. Coach, how you doing, Coach?
Good.
Coach, let me ask you before you do the let me read the super chat real quick. I'm sorry, man. Let me So in DW, I don't know if you guys like the bubble playoffs, but Dame, Mitch Murray all were clutch and pulled their teams through tough games. Many can score, but not many can take it home. Knicks need clutch to win. Bama, thank you for that. Justin D.W., thank you for that. Thank you for that. Coach, let me ask you this. Hear me out on it before you answer. Hear me out on both because I got to ask you 2 questions. Which do you prefer personally? A scoring machine that can get his at any time outside of clutch moments, of course? Or do you prefer the guy that is, a good player, but steps his game up in the clutch? Right. So I guess it's the and before you go, which one do you feel like the Knicks need? Do the Knicks need a scoring machine, or do they need that guy that steps his game up in the clutch? The one that is going to step up in the clutch, and the other team knows he's going to step his game up in the clutch, and the other team in that clutch moment can't stop the guy from performing those clutch plays.
Well, to me, it's a no-brainer. I mean, because if someone needs to perform in the clutch, that means we playing for something special, a win, and even bigger than that, a big win in a big moment. And that's when clutch performance come in. Because sometimes that clutch performance we need might not be scoring all the time. It might be that steal, that defensive stop, that stepping up when the team needs you time, when everyone else is having a rough night. So to me, I'll take that clutch dude every time.
Okay.
Because to me, that's that means winning.
Okay. So you're saying in a game 7, you would prefer Steve Kerr taking that wide open 3 as opposed to giving Michael Jordan the ball. Because Michael Jordan's a scoring machine. But Steve Kerr and John Paxson knocked down clutch shots. You saw it.
Yeah. I mean,
Is the question too tough?
Guys like MJ are both. But,
Okay.
because really the clutch moment there was Mike with the clutch pass. I hate giving the guy credit because, he's been a Knick killer all them years.
Yeah.
And really, Kerr and Paxson, is it clutch when that's basically doing their job, hitting an open shot?
Okay.
Like, that's why they're on that team. That's why they're even in the NBA. Those are them kind of guys that can hit that open 3.
Right. When the double team comes to Shaq in the post and Shaq kicks it out to a wide open Robert Horry at the top of the key to give the Lakers a 2-point lead with 48 seconds left to go in the game. Would you rather Shaq shoot there, or are you willing to take Robert Horry knocking down that shot there?
Yeah. I mean, if your team has clutch performers on it, that means they're making a big shot at a big moment. So then that's the kind of guys you want on the team. That means we got winners. Guys that know how to win.
Like clutch performers.
Yeah.
So for instance, I'll give you an example. I've been watching football for a long time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen San Francisco 49ers wide receivers come and go. Your Terrell Owens, your Dwight Clarks, your Freddie Solomons, your Jerry Rice, all of those players over the years, right?
Taylor.
John Taylor. The most clutch one of all of them, in my mind, is Dwight Clark. Always catching third downs, going across, always catching clutch passes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jerry Rice, on the other hand, is a scoring machine, right? And so when I ask which one you prefer, I know what the answer should be, right? I know what the answer should be. But do you need the Knicks? Do you want the Knicks to get more of those clutch guys, or do you want the Knicks to go get a scoring machine? Because the most famous catch in San Francisco 49ers history was made by Dwight Clark. They even named it the catch. You know what I'm saying? They even named it the catch, right?
I mean, the only thing is the way you word it and the examples you're giving. Like when you say a score machine, it's like it just sounds like someone like that. That's all they're good at is scoring. But like the examples you given, like they score machines and they're like 5 other things. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you talk to MJ and Jerry Rice. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
So what else was Jerry Rice good at aside from catching passes?
I mean, taking all the attention from the defense.
Yeah.
And I mean, he was a hell of a route runner. I mean,
excellent route runner.
I mean, the 49ers had a good running game, and them receivers got a block out there. He was always a solid block. You know, no one thinks of receivers, he was a Hall of Fame blocker, but them guys, catching first downs in the big moments. It's one thing to score a bunch of touchdowns in your career when games don't matter, but he did it in moments that were huge, playoffs, Super Bowl,
in huge moments.
Yeah.
So are you saying that you prefer both?
Well, I mean, I think 99.9% of people want both of that on their team. But I feel what the Knicks need. We haven't been in a position to know who's really clutch for us. Like we haven't had moments. I mean, we've had them little moments. RJ hit the bank, buzzer beater to win, and things like those little moments. Yeah.
The champ
but
is here.
Oh,
the champ is here.
There he is, King Ant.
Boom, boom,
boom, boom, boom, bim,
pull
bim,
the
bim.
trigger, pull the trigger, pull the trigger.
Blam, blam, till they fall.
Yeah,
no, but yet, I mean, man, you got one of them. You with them catch-22 questions, bro. You be getting me with these.
No, it's just for conversation, bro. It's just because there is no right or wrong answer. It's all opinion. Right. Yeah, it's all opinion. Like there is no red Cadillac. You know what I'm saying? As a surprise gift.
Yeah. As far as what the Knicks need right now, I feel like we got some guys that can score already. We just need some guys to come up in the clutch.
Right. How many moments? How many? And see, here's the thing. Here's the thing that I want to clarify, right? And Champ, I'm glad you're here, man, because this is a perfect question for you. I think this type of question is always in Champ's wheelhouse for some reason, right? Like when I ask like the elaboration questions, that's always in Coach's wheelhouse, right? But when I ask like the polarizing questions, that's always in Champ wheelhouse, right? And I find this out as I go about my day. I'm like, what would Coach think about this question if I was to ask this? You know what I'm saying? I know that seems petty.
I know. I overthink the hell out of it too much, bro. I know.
Nah. But we need analysis.
You're
an analyst. You analyzing what was posed, and so when I'm asking Champ, before you answer, hear me out completely on this, okay?
Gotcha.
All right. Which do you prefer? Do you prefer a scoring machine or a clutch performer? Right now, with that said, while you think about this, think about part 2 to the question. Which of those do the Knicks need? Do the Knicks need a scoring machine or a clutch performer? And I am specifically not giving my opinion on this because my opinion doesn't matter. The only opinion that matters is the thousands of people that are going to watch this over and over again, right? And the opinion of the distinguished panel of Coach M, Coach Win Now, and the People's Champ, King Angie. Right now, those are the only opinions that matter. Champ, do you prefer a scoring machine or a clutch performer? And if you need some help, listen, I got some help queued up for you, okay?
Got you.
I got some help. I have some help queued up for you, okay? Check this out, Champ. Check this out, okay?
Another. Smith has it. Knicks to the Bulls.
Bang!
That's my favorite Melo Nick moment ever.
Bang! That one goes down, and the game is tied.
Carmelo Anthony is a scoring machine. Don't get it twisted. Melo is a scoring machine, right? Do you prefer those moments from your scoring machine where your scoring machine just goes off against a hated opponent for 50 in a nationally, say for instance, hey, Coach, who do we play this year on Christmas? Philly, right?
Yep.
So we play Philly this year on Christmas, right? And say James Harden, Joel Embiid, and all them guys are murking us on Christmas Day, and all of a sudden RJ Barrett goes off for a 22-point fourth quarter and wins the game on a buzzer beater. Would you prefer RJ Barrett just scoring 40 points against them, showing them who's the boss? You know what I'm saying? Or scoring even better, even RJ Barrett scoring 50 against them in a loss, showing them that the Knicks ain't nothing to be played with? or would you prefer R.J. Barrett winning the game winner over Matisse Thybulle, their best defender?
So,
MG, what you think, champ?
so here's what I'm toiling with, right?
I want that dub.
So first of all, to me, a scoring machine. I'll preface my statement by saying a scoring machine to me is someone who averages 25 or more points a game. In my opinion.
Okay.
Right. And I'm of the belief that a scoring machine doesn't forget how to score in the clutch.
Okay.
So what I think the Knicks need more, I think we need a scoring machine. Because a scoring machine, I think he'll get you to the clutch. Right? A clutch guy is only valuable to you if the game is close.
Right. When you need something, when you desperately need something, he'll deliver.
And I think, that I think a scoring machine gets it done in the clutch most of the time.
Right.
Most of the time. Now, there are some cases where guys are scoring machines, but they're choke artists. Like, those guys exist.
Right.
But I think mostly the most talented scorers in the league score when it's late, score when it's early, score when it's the middle of the second quarter. I think they just put the basketball in the basket. So I'll take the scoring machine.
Okay. What do the Knicks need?
The scoring machine.
The scoring machine. You
Absolutely.
prefer the scoring. You prefer the scoring machine, and you feel like the Knicks need a scoring machine.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Excellent. Duly noted. All right. So
yeah.
Can I rebuttal that a little bit?
Go ahead, Coach.
My only problem with that is the Knicks have had some scoring machines in the past, and we didn't win. And for me, I don't know if that translates to wins eventually if you have enough of scoring machines, but like I want to win. So to me, like I said, just like King Ant said though, like you can't have a clutch guy if we ain't in a position to win. So it's like I said, it's a catch-22, but because it's no sense scoring all these points and getting us to that point, and then you ain't got no one that can seal the deal for you, at the same time. Because a clutch guy will score when you need him to score. Like he'll turn on the scoring machine side if that's what you need to win that day. I mean, I'm not just saying this to go against what he's saying, but I just when I hear of a scoring machine, it's like it's a one-dimensional player. Although I agree with his reasoning, usually scoring machines are the whole package. The guys that score tough baskets. At the beginning of the game, the middle of the game, fourth quarter, the end of the game.
Because we've had some clutch guys and still didn't win, right? Like, for instance, well, I was gonna bring up Jamal Crawford. You could call him a scoring machine, I guess, but he was clutch, right? Okay. In big moments, Jamal Crawford made big shots. The Knicks stunk. Why? Because you got to get to that point. It's like you got to get to the bridge to cross it. If you never get to the bridge, it don't matter if you got someone that's good at crossing it, you never get there. Okay. So I think the Knicks need somebody on offense that the other team fears. Like, they walk onto the court and it's like whoever's guarding you that night, their heart drops. Like, we need one of those dudes.
Okay.
And I think that makes the other team's job harder.
So the Knicks
need
a scoring machine.
Go ahead.
So the Knicks need a scoring machine more so than they need a clutch performer. And so chat. I put a poll in the chat. You should see it. Where is it? You should see it in the chat right now with 16 votes. the scoring machine option is ahead. So whatever side that you are on, make sure you get in there and have your voice be heard. Get in there and make sure your voice be heard, man. All you gotta do is click on the button, click on the option that you want. Don't be afraid to voice your opinion. Nobody is reading your vote out loud. Just go ahead and vote. You know what I'm saying? And tell us what you think. You know what I'm saying? The more people that vote, the more we get an understanding of the voice of the people. Blorange Tears is all about having the voice of the people be heard. So get in there and vote. Which one do you think the Knicks need more? A scoring machine or a clutch performer? Yeah, Coach.
Someone that was like, I'm thinking about Knicks. Allen Houston comes to mind. That Heat series. He was our scorer, but at the same time, he came in the clutch. You know what series I'm talking about?
Which one are you talking about?
In when we eliminated Miami.
Yeah,
in the 99, it was the 99 playoffs, right?
Yep.
Would you prefer a Bradley Beal type player or a Robert Horry type player? Right? Or let's scratch Robert Horry. Let's say a Bradley Beal to a Ray Allen, right? Because Ray Allen late in his career hit a lot of big shots, like came through in a lot of big moments, right? I think that's sort of the question that's being asked here. Because Bradley Beal hasn't shown he can. I don't think he's shown he's a clutch performer. I don't think he's shown.
But he is a scoring machine though.
Absolutely, he's a scoring machine. I think he's the definition of a scoring machine.
Right.
So like I said, I think I'm gonna take my chances. I think the probability is a good amount that scoring machine can get you a bucket, can come up big, because the reason why they're a scoring machine, like they just, unless they're mental midgets, I don't think they forget how to play ball.
Right.
And now I think a lot of the issues scoring machines fall into in a clutch is not that they aren't clutch, but that they force it, right? Because they want to be the one to put the ball in the basket. They want to be the one to make the shot. So a lot of the times they settle for bad shots in the clutch, right? Yeah. Because they want to be the one to make it. Everybody think they're Jordan. So I think that's more of an issue with scoring machines than them just not being clutch. And a lot of the clutchest shooters in NBA history are the role players that the defense is not really keying in on, and they get the benefit of that open jump shot or a little bit of space.
Unless historically though, I can challenge that a little bit. Jerry West was a scoring machine that you legit had to make sure he was covered. Jerry West is the logo, bro.
Yeah.
Jerry West is the logo, bro. Every time you see NBA games, you see Jerry West. And it's not just because they needed a logo. That's how they revered Jerry West. Jerry West, think about this. Jerry West, the Knicks were up by 2, right? The Knicks hit the clutchest shot you ever saw, right? And left 3 seconds left on the clock. And the Lakers took out the ball, and Jerry West hit a 70-foot jumper to tie the game and send it into overtime.
That's crazy.
That's clutch. Coach, do you know how far 70 feet is, bro? That's like 20 1/3 yards.
Yep, it's craziness.
That 70 feet, right? Yeah. Kerry Cox remembers that. Yes, Kerry Cox remembers that too. 70 feet, bro, on a dead sprint, right? The Lakers thought they lost. Jerry West gets the ball, sprints as far as he could, lets the shot go. You can hear the buzzer sound. It's like a shot it's like a end of movie sequence from the Mighty Ducks or something. He lets the shot go. Everybody start looking sad, like, oh man, we lost. Buzzer go off, and then you hear, oh, the Lakers have life. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of those moments. right?
Mm-hmm.
And Freeze, I got the perfect comparison, right? Perfect comparison. I want to scratch the Ray Allen comparison, right? I want to keep Bradley Beal there, and I think a perfect comparison of a guy that's not a scoring machine, but a clutch performer. Think of prime Rajon Rondo.
Okay.
Right? The bigger the game, the bigger he played.
Right.
Right? Not a scoring machine at all, really.
Right.
But if the game was big, you was getting playoff Rondo. And Rondo put up some gaudy numbers against a real good team. So I think that's a better comparison. Because in the playoffs, I trust Rondo. He can't shoot a lick, but he somehow finds a way to get it done when the game matters. So,
right.
I think
I consider clutch performance. I get it. I consider clutch performance guys like, on the biggest of big stages. I like guys like Draymond Green that take charges. You know what I'm saying? That deflect passes. That make the right play in the right moment, and is huge because any play this is what I'm talking about clutch. Any play outside of the best possible option is a failure, right? Like if you remember Klay Thompson against Oklahoma City. Y'all remember Game 6 Klay?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, and where Golden State kept running the same play over and over and over again because Russell Westbrook kept going underneath the screen. Y'all remember that?
Yep.
But you know who was screening Westbrook to make him dodge the screen? Draymond Green was hammering him on the screen and made Russell Westbrook shy away from contact to give Klay Thompson the room he needed to knock down those threes. Right? Right. Let me speak to. I just want to speak to a running back. Any running backs in the chat? Yeah. Any running backs out there? Run the same. The coach called the same play over and over and over again. And after like say maybe in the third quarter, the backers are tired of getting bucked by the fullback up the middle, and all of a sudden they slow down for an instant, and the next thing you know, the running back is gone, 80-yard touchdown. Right?
John Riggins.
Just for a moment, right? And people see the 80-yard touchdown, right? They see the running back is gone. You know who was clutch on that play though? The fullback, for punishing the opponent over and over and over again, to the point where the running back shows up a fraction of a second late because he's shying away from contact, and the running back is gone.
I'm telling you, Freeze. I tried to be a running back, and Pop Warner, you run the ball a lot, right?
Yeah.
I tried to be a running back, but my coach made me a fullback, right? Because he always said I had tree trunks for legs. So whenever the running back needed a break, my coach would come to me and say, "Just don't lose me any yards. Get back to the line of scrimmage."
Yeah.
Right. To get back to the line of scrimmage, whatever you do, get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. And that's the reason why I ask about, because people think about the scoring machine on that scenario that I just mentioned. The scoring machine broke an 80-yard touchdown. And when people look at the stat sheet after the game, they're going to say, oh, wow, such and such ran the ball 20 times for 240 yards and a touchdown. But what they won't look at is the people that were clutch. The people that do film study, the coaches, they go back and, look at this block by him. Look at the field. Look at the fullback. You know what I'm saying? Back on backer. People don't know what a bob play is. Back on backers, right? A lot of people don't. But what I'm saying is this: would you prefer the guys that are clutch versus a scoring machine, right? Would you prefer a Draymond Green or a Donovan Mitchell? Which one does this franchise need?
Well, I mean, right now we need a Mitchell. We need a consistent scoring machine.
I have an interesting question. What category does Kevin Durant fall in?
Scoring machine.
I agree.
Kevin Durant is a scoring machine.
I agree.
He cannot win a championship without Andre Iguodala.
I agree.
Right.
Here's another football reference for you, for as far as a clutch person. You remember Lorenzo Neal, right?
Yeah, I remember Neal. He blocked for 8,000-yard rushes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, to me, there is. I'm not saying there's an abundance of the kind of scoring machines you're talking about. Like you're talking about Hall of Fame level players sometimes, but
right.
There's always guys that are. There's a lot of guys in the league that can get buckets, but there's only them certain guys that can step up when it counts, and you can't stop when the moment's big. You know.
Right.
Right, because Coach, there's guys that are gifted scores, right? But there's guys that no matter what you do, if they do what they're supposed to do, you can't stop them.
Right.
It doesn't matter how good defense you play. It just doesn't matter, right? Kevin Durant is one of those dudes. Kobe was one of those guys. Steph Curry is one of those guys. You could throw the kitchen sink at them. If they do what they're supposed to do, you can't stop them.
Right.
And like so, I think it's a different tier, right? Of scoring machine. Like, I don't know if Donovan Mitchell is in that tier yet.
Well, he is averaging 25 for his career.
Right. Like,
I think it's like 24.9, but whatever. That's semantics, bro.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if he's in that tier of unstoppable yet. Like, I have to see it.
Is Jason Tatum a scoring machine?
Oh, Tatum disappears sometimes, but I guess I would say yeah. I have to get that to him, I guess. But these finals, he gotta show and prove.
That's a segue into a conversation that I wanted to have with you guys.
Like,
right? And y'all are right on time. I wanted to do this for about 45 minutes, and then I wanted to segue into the scoring machine argument. Like, is a scoring machine a myth, or are these real NBA players? Is there such a thing as a guy that wants to score the basketball more than he wants to win?
And that's an interesting question for you, because I always fought back, because that used to be what Melo was accused of, right? Mm-hmm. And I always bucked against that notion, right? I always felt like what a lot of the time we view as selfishness and like wanting to get their own is them truly believing that they are the best chance for the team to win.
They are the difference maker.
Right.
They feel like they are the difference maker.
They want to win. They just feel as if they are, they
want to win on their terms.
Right.
That's what it is. Like so, coach, you know these type of guys, right? You know these. You watch sports for a long time, right? Mm-hmm. And you understand that scoring machines believe they have the ultimate talent, right? I'll give Coach an example, and he'll know exactly where I'm going with this. It's 3rd down and 3. The Minnesota Vikings come out in a 3-receiver set, right? They have this big dude named Kleinsasser, right? But their 3 receivers are Jake Reed, Chris Carter, and Randy Moss, mm-hmm. right? Deep in the backfield is a running back named Leroy Horde, right? It's 3rd down in a short 3. They're estimating that it's 3 yards. So it's like 2 yards, like 2-point-something yards. On this play, Randy Moss is begging for them to throw him the ball. Chris Carter is saying, if y'all throw it, y'all better throw to the greatest hands to ever play, mm-hmm. right? But Leroy Horde, if you need 3 yards, he's going to get you 3. If you need 9 yards, he's going to get you 3. Right? So they come out
3 yards and a cloud of dust.
Yep, they come out in this formation, right? And what happens in the huddle is Randy Moss is yapping at a young quarterback named Dante Culpepper. Chris Carter is yapping like, if you throw it, you better throw it to me. You can see everybody talking, right? Right? Dante Culpepper gets the snap. He turns around, gives it to Leroy Horde. And guess what Leroy Horde does? Leroy Horde gets the Vikings 3 yards. Because if you need 3, he's going to get you 3. If you need 9, guess what he's going to get you? 3. Right? But the Vikings receivers are like, man, you could have gave that to me, man. I could beat this man and blah, blah, blah. But on that play, Leroy Hard was clutch. Right? But your scoring machines on the outside, with the scorer's mentality, they want to score.
Mm-hmm. What's their favorite saying, Freeze? At the end, like say the game is over and you lost by 1 and the scoring machine took the last shot and missed. Right. Their favorite saying is, "I got a good look at the basket."
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got a good look.
I had a good look. Yeah.
They always have a good look.
Would you consider Tim Duncan a scoring machine?
No, I don't think.
But
I think Tim Duncan could have been. I think he could have been if he wanted to.
But that dude
was clutch.
Yep. So that's the point I'm talking about. Like a clutch player, when there's some games where he had to take on the scoring load.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So a clutch player does that.
Here's where a guy like Draymond has value though, because Draymond might be the clutch player, but he has the presence of mind to get the scoring machine a open look. Right. So that's where a lot of his clutchness comes from. Right. He has the presence of mind to get the scoring machine an open look. Right. Because that's clutch in my opinion as well. Setting a perfect screen for a last shot is harder than it sounds. Right. Like it's very
difficult. It's very difficult because if you watch film, you got to understand that the other team is watching film also.
Right.
Right.
Manchild had a good example. So it made me think of the other two guys too. Mitch Richmond, Chris Mullin, Tim Hardaway. You got 3 scoring machines on a team.
Right.
They couldn't win though.
Yeah, you know who their defender was back then? Make you laugh. They had a defender to come off the bench. You know who their defender was?
Was it Sarunas?
A dude named John Starks.
Oh yeah. That's right. When he started there.
A dude named John Starks used to come in the game and hack people up and go back to the bench.
I thought you meant Sarunas.
Marshalonis. Marshalonis wanted to score too.
Yeah.
Marshalonis wanted to score too.
He was
the chat might get me, but there's one player that, and I'm not saying he's the only player on this team, but he's the one I'm thinking of right now that has shown some clutch characteristics, and he doesn't really get, it doesn't really get brought up when you speak about him enough, in my opinion. But I think R.J. Barrett has some of that in him.
Mm-hmm.
He has some of that in him, to where he could be having a terrible game. In the final 3 minutes, he especially a couple years ago in that 4-seed season, right? He could be struggling all game, but when it counted, he made the shots. And I think that's a trait that RJ has that we don't talk about enough. The kid has some cojones. I don't think he's afraid of taking a big shot. And he's pretty good at it. He's pretty good at it, especially if he can become more efficient at the rim and not be even more of a threat in those high leverage situations. I think he could be even better in the clutch. So I'm interested to see how he develops in close games and in big situations. And I think the Atlanta Hawks series, I hope it was good for him. I hope it was good for him. But even in that series, that dunk on Herter, that was a big time play. Presence of mind to throw it on his head, stuff like that. It catches my attention. And so I'm interested in where he could take that.
Hey Dre, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right.
What up, Dre?
Peace and peace, Coach. Peace, Reese. Did you guys mention Jimmy Butler in this conversation? I may have missed it.
No, but he's there.
Not yet.
That is by definition the guy we're talking about when we speak about clutch performers. And relative to how they normally play in the regular season, they go to another level in the postseason. And I feel like this discussion was started because you might be comparing RJ to Donovan, what RJ could be to what Donovan
Mhm.
is in the current moment.
Am I doing that right now? No, I'm not. I'm not.
I mean,
But like,
I don't think Freak
but
is doing that, but I think it's a. Because one of
It's
the
a
knocks
it's
parallel.
a
on Donovan
natural
last year
progression. Yeah.
was like he kept coming up small in big moments last year. That's what I hear a lot of Jazz fans say, that like he wasn't clutch last year.
No,
So
no. What I'm getting at is when it comes to team building, you have to take a lot of things into account, right? You have to take a lot of things into account. Look, for instance, you have to have a bell cow on your team, right? You know, I believe you have to have a bell cow, a guy that's going to get you buckets during the course of the season, regardless if he's dinged up or not. And then you have to have a second guy that can get you buckets, that's hungry to get those buckets, but he's not the primary guy. And
Right.
then you have to have a third guy that is your designated lockdown defender guy.
Can I make a parallel to that?
Win, hold on, Dre, let me finish.
Dre excited, man.
Dre getting excited. Dre like, yo, we only get Dre like 24 hours to live. Now let me. So you have to have a third guy that's a lockdown defender. You have to have that guy, right? No team is gonna win without it. Preferably now in a perfect world, all three of these guys are gonna be. And I say three, and I'm holding up 5 fingers. I'm not, bro, man from fifth floor. Y'all pardon me. So, but what I would say is in a perfect world, you would have all three of those guys be separate players, right? You don't want one guy that has to score 30 points a night to carry you. Preferably, you'd have a guy that scores about 24 a night, 25 a night, and then another guy that can score you 18, 19, 20 a night, and then have an elite lockdown defender. So in a perfect world, your roster would look like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart.
Exactly.
If that's the example that we want to use, right? Or a Kobe, Shaq, Rick Fox, or a Tracy McGrady, Yao Ming, Shane Battier. In a perfect world, if you have something like that, it makes you competitive on a nightly basis, right? Dre, my bad.
The comp I wanted to compare it to baseball, like a pitching rotation. Like you might have a star or two at the top, but you need an innings eater. You need an innings eater, and you need somebody to go out there and get you some innings. He may not be the best, but he saves your bullpen in the long run. And then you have the designated closer, the finisher for you. And like all good teams, yeah, exactly. You need a long guy too. You need a guy that'll eat up 3-4 innings when your pitcher's having a bad day, so your bullpen doesn't get killed. Like everybody has a part to play in the cohesion of a unit in the long run.
Okay. It's why I think those Cleveland teams were so effective, right? Because you had Kyrie, you had Shumpert, who was the defender, you had LeBron, right? You had Kevin Love. And I forgot who played the 5 for them. Tristan Thompson,
he's kind of unsung.
Yeah, and
Varejao
and Mozgov.
Yeah, so like that team was well put together. Like the roles were well defined, right? And I believe Kyrie was that closer for them. Like Kyrie was their Mariano Rivera. Like he was gonna close the game up. Yeah. He did it in the finals. So yeah.
Like for us, like someone like Mitchell, who's like the scoring machine type, is gonna put us in a position where we can find out if a guy like RJ or even Randall or Brunson, or maybe that one of them are clutch.
Brunson could be that guy.
They're gonna put us in a position where those up. Because here's the thing: when you got a score machine or score, if you get someone like Mitchell, right, and the other team's game planning for him, it's the same adage with any team that you play against that's got like a star player who's the main guy. All right, so-and-so is going to get his points. Mitchell's going to be getting his points. We can't let RJ beat us. We can't let Brunson beat us. We can't let Julius beat us. So that's where, to me, the clutch comes in. Like, because Mitchell's the type of guy, he's going to get his. He's going to get his 25. He's going to explode for a 30 or 40 once in a while, even in big days, But it's them other guys, where
That need to be dependable.
Right. So to me, like, I'm curious to see. I haven't really delved into, because all I've seen from Mitchell in the playoffs is explosive games. Like, I haven't seen. I want to look at his stat lines of all his playoff games to see if he had an actual game where he actually disappeared.
Okay. He's a pretty good playoff performer. Last year was kind of a stain on his reputation so far. But before last year, Donovan Mitchell has never been the issue for Utah in the playoffs.
Yeah, but like that's what I'm saying. Like I want to see what that next guy on Utah didn't do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I think that was the case for everybody though, champ. I think everybody in Utah had a bad playoff run. I'm sorry, coach.
Yeah.
I think Quinn Snyder got outcoached. I think Rudy Gobert didn't step up. I think the injury to Joe Ingles had more of an impact than what they let on, and they traded him to Portland knowing that he was hurt. Portland took him on so that they can just take his salary and have dead money come off during free agency. You know what I'm saying? So I think there were a lot of things missing in Utah. I don't want to just blame Donovan Mitchell's ankle.
I just think it expired.
Like Utah,
like it was over.
Utah didn't have that defined second consistent guy that could step up,
right,
and get buckets for him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Donovan Mitchell had Melo's issue, right? Where Melo's second guy offensively was J.R. Smith, right?
Right.
Sometimes
he's all over the place.
Right. Sometimes it worked because JR was on.
Went off. Yeah.
Right. That was Jordan Clarkson for Donovan Mitchell.
Right.
Sometimes it worked because Jordan Clarkson went and dropped 35. But too often, Jordan Clarkson was Jordan Clarkson. A cold and hot shooter, inconsistent. Right. I mean, it's not a legitimate second option. So yeah, I think that was Utah's issue. But I think Rudy Gobert doesn't get enough credit. I mean, we looked at his numbers last night, and my God, like, I don't know if Utah is ever as good as they have been without Rudy Gobert. So I think he was just as important as Utah making the playoffs as Donovan Mitchell was, because Rudy Gobert hid a lot of their flaws, a whole lot. In the playoffs, it just becomes harder to hide, I think. And they had a lot of slow, unathletic, non-shot creators.
Well, yeah, the playoff becomes the NBA game changes during the playoffs. It tends to slow down sometimes. I mean, you get your shootout games here and there, but when it starts getting down to the nitty gritty, like every possession, boy, everyone's there to try hard. You know what I'm saying? So, they're trying to win every possession.
That's why Jalen Brunson thrived in that setting, because he's the type of guy who thinks the game, and when the game slows down, he plays better.
Okay,
right.
Like when you make it a chess match with Jalen Brunson, like you don't want to get in a footwork battle with him. I mean, a footwork battle with him. Like, you don't want to turn it into a chess match with Jalen Brunson, because he's gonna win every time, right? You want to try to beat Jalen Brunson with your size, speed, and athleticism. You want to physical like him.
You want to ideally to beat Jalen Brunson, you want to take the ball out of his hands.
Yeah.
Right. Like, you want to trap the pick and roll, make the secondary playmaker. Yeah. Hopefully, it's not a done. And I'm just saying this, guys, just bear with me as I draw the example. Right. Hopefully, the guy that takes over the ball handling responsibilities is not named Luka or Donovan Mitchell. You would live and die with Emmanuel Quickley being the primary playmaker with Jalen Brunson on the floor, as opposed to Jalen Brunson being the primary playmaker, getting everybody involved.
Right.
That would be my defensive strategy to stop Jalen Brunson. Right. Trap the pick and roll, and if they stay in it, then ice it to one side of the floor, right, and force Jalen Brunson to make long cross-court passes.
And try to force him to see over that defense.
Right.
Because that's what you have the advantage.
They're trying to force Brunson into making his decision before he gets into the paint.
Right.
But the thing that makes Brunson pretty solid is he'll identify that you're trapping and he'll locate the mismatch, and then it'll be
Right.
RJ or Julius attacking someone smaller or too big to guard them, and they're too slow.
RJ Barrett leaving the corner, cutting back door on the same
like-
side. Yeah, because what you see Jalen Brunson do a lot, and he did it to the Spurs so much. It's like a tutorial. DeJounte Murray picked up Jalen Brunson right at half court, and he forced Jalen Brunson to go to one side of the court or the other and not operate in the middle of the floor. But Jalen Brunson went along. He called his screen out to 30 feet. Right? Everybody knows Jalen Brunson is not shooting a 32-point three-pointer. Right. But he calls his big out to 30 feet. What that does is two things. It draws the big that's defending his big out to 30 feet. Right? So that way his cutters from the corner or from the wing on opposite sides of the floor, if they are hit in stride with the pass, can attack the basket without rim protection, right? And while it seems like, what's he doing way out there on the floor? Think about Mitchell Robinson and RJ Barrett guarding that. Now you have Mitchell Robinson playing defense 28 to 30 feet away from the floor. Right. That totally neutralizes anything that Mitchell Robinson does on defense. Totally, right?
Yeah. Now
you have Julius Randle or Obi Toppin protecting your rim.
And neither one of them do that well.
Right. So if you're Jalen Brunson, just think about Jalen Brunson doing that to other teams in the Eastern Conference.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Just think about that. Right? Just Jalen Brunson, he runs a tutorial. Go back and look at Jalen Brunson's YouTube cut-ups, right? Not highlights, just cut-ups. Just type in Jalen Brunson on YouTube and watch him manipulate the pick and roll. And so you wonder why Jalen Brunson shoots at such a high percentage at the rim. It's because the rim protector is behind him. Right? So now what team puts two rim protectors on the floor at the same time?
Not many.
Teams don't do that no more.
Maybe Cleveland is all I could think of.
And maybe Cleveland, maybe, but you don't face them you don't face Cleveland often enough to even have that be a consideration. Right? And so when we're just talking about if we're just talking about the art of war, right? If you're talking about the art of war, the art of attacking your opponent, coach, how do you know how to attack your opponent? That's rhetorical. You don't have to answer. How you know how to attack your opponent is by first knowing your opponent.
Yeah.
Right? You got to know your opponent just as good as your opponent knows himself. Right?
KYP.
Yeah.
Even more about your opponent than they know themselves.
Right.
It's kind of like how a hitter in baseball picks up tipping from a pitcher. The pitcher don't know he tipping, but the hitter do.
But the hitter does.
You know, so it's a small stuff. Like you watch film, you can see when a guy is gonna go under a pick before he goes under the pick, like where he leans. Right? Like if Jalen Brunson is the type, he gives me off that vibe that he's that type that watches film like that to pick up on like little details.
In order to be like an isolation player that's consistent, you have to process like minute details at a very high level. Like you have to process, my defender's leading with his right foot, and he's trying to hedge me a particular way. I'm gonna go around, and a lot of those are like micro processes that like elite isolation players do every single game. But you never really notice it until you're like right on top of the game, like you're right seeing it.
Right. And you know what? The key thing in that example, DeJounte Murray is an excellent athlete. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
But you know who is not an excellent athlete? Jacob Poeltl. Jacob Poeltl is not an excellent athlete. So as soon as the foot race starts to the rim, DeJounte Murray is 5 yards behind trying to catch up to Jalen Brunson because Jalen Brunson got a screen. But now Jacob Poeltl is in a foot race to the rim with Jalen Brunson, right? And then now, if the rim protector collapses, say Rudy Gay in that case. Rudy Gay is their rim protector, or whoever's on the floor for them. But Doug McDermott, whoever's at the 3-4 for them, right? Say Doug McDermott is stepping up. When he steps up, guess what that gives? Guess what that gives? Say an Obi Toppin or an RJ Barrett. That gives them a launch pad to the rim.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
you know what I'm saying?
Great at that. Obi, that's elite.
Alternatively, Freeze. If they even drop coverage, if they run drop coverage, Jalen Brunson is smart enough to have the defender right on his hip, and he'll make you commit. He'll make the defender decide his next move. So if the center wants to step up, that's a lob right there, dump down right there. If he doesn't want to step up, that's a floater.
That's a floater. That's what I was gonna get to all day. Be punished all day. And see, the difference between this year with Jalen Brunson and last year with Alec Burks is, for one, Alec Burks didn't get his man smashed on a screen. That's one of the inefficiencies. The opposing point guard wasn't smashed on screens, right? Kemba Walker didn't do it. I'm so glad Kemba Walker is gone, bro. Nothing against UConn, but if Kemba Walker would have been here, I swear I'd have jumped. Y'all, that window over there, I'd have jumped my fat ass out that window if Kemba Walker came back, bro.
Nah, see, I want Kemba to just retire and go train guards at UConn. Like, his knees are gone.
Right. Gone. But you got to smash. The reason why you run the pick and roll is so that the defender can get picked off the ball.
Right.
Yep.
That's the reason why you run it. And I showed it. I showed you on Patreon. I broke it down where Ish Smith, where Ish Smith got smashed on a screen, right? Yeah, no, Clyde Frazier's favorite point guard, Ish Smith, got smashed on the screen. By the time Kemba Walker turned the corner, Ish Smith was right back in front of him. So you telling me a dude gets smashed on the screen, by the time you get downhill, the defender is back in front of you.
And then the thing with Alec Burke, it's like when he gets a pick, he panics and makes one ultimate decision, and he doesn't process after that. And that's the thing that separates the elite players. They always like have progressions, almost like a quarterback. They have progressions in what they see in the play. Where Alec Burks, he'll panic and go beeline right for the rim, and then he already gave away what he's going to do. That's why his finishing was so terrible. When Jalen Brunson is driving or getting to the lane, he has 3 or 4 different options that he's running through his mind that he's basing off what the coverage is and if the defender is going to commit or not.
And it comes natural to him.
And he makes the right decision. Yep.
Doesn't it seem like Alec Burks never got all the way to the rim? It feels like that.
Yeah. And when he got there, he would just throw something off the rim to try to get a foul call.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was the king of getting a foul call at the rim, and he was also the king at getting the foul calls on the 3-point shots. Yeah. Remember that last year? He would pump fake dudes in the air, and he would just flop into them, and it would look so. But Justin DW, thank you for the generous contribution. Justin DW says, a lot of people underestimate Brunson. Remember when Luka was out, they had Dallas losing, but he held it down with his number one option. That's a 28, 9, and 9 guy.
Wow. Oh, no.
28, 9, and 9, coach.
If Jalen Brunson is 28, 9, and 9 guy, we going some places.
I don't, hey, coach. I don't know what to say to 28, 9, and 9.
I mean, that'd be nice.
I would take 18, 6, and 6 though. 6
I'm trying to imagine how Jalen Brunson is getting those 9 rebounds. That's what's in my mind.
I don't know. I ain't saying she a gold digger.
Luka.
Yeah, he was talking about Luka. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Luka's a 28, 9, and 9 guy, and he filled his shoes to the best of his ability.
And this may become a moot point if we get Donovan Mitchell, but I wonder if Jalen Brunson can teach RJ some of those, crafty manipulations off of the screen, how to read different things, the footwork, right? Because RJ's footwork isn't terrible. Yeah. It's not terrible. Yeah.
But he has some of those moves in him. Like we've seen him do the change of pace, like put the defender on his head, put him in jail. It's just that he kind of like he gives away what he's going to do a lot of the times before he needs to, and he's almost like panicking when he gets to the lane after he gets his man on his hip, and then his touch needs to improve on the floater because he sometimes he makes the right decision and he goes for the floater and then he just clanks it.
Yeah, because
So
like
it's
him and
about
Jalen
touch and
Brunson have
consistency.
similar approaches. I feel like off of the screen. I just think Jalen Brunson is a lot better at it than he is. But I think RJ is often kind of trying to do a lot of the same things. I just don't think it's as successful all the time.
Hey guys, I just looked up something crazy on Mitchell.
What's that?
He, in his 39 playoff games, he only scored under 20 twice.
It's impressive.
And he's been by far the number one option that you key on to take him out the game, and he's been consistent.
I mean, that's crazy. I mean, one of them was a 12-point game, and the other one was that one ugly game. They got smacked, and he only had 9 points.
Man, in the bubble, he was dropping 50, I think, twice. Didn't he?
Yeah, but the rest.
Yeah, but the bubble. I like what he did in the bubble, but like T.J. Warren was freaking Michael Jordan in the bubble.
I mean, yeah.
Jesus. So like, it was something about that bubble, man. Like the same game he dropped 50-something. Jamal Murray had like 57.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
I mean, to me, that's a scoring machine, but at the same time, man, he's consistent. That's at a clutch. That's at a clutch time,
Are we concerned at all about Donovan Mitchell losing some of that bounce at some point?
I'm not, because he's already transitioned his game to be more skill based, and I think he's top 5 in like off the dribble threes. He doesn't go for the dunk. He only shows his explosiveness when he needs to. Like he tries to reserve it and keep healthy, stay healthy. Because if you look at his game from his rookie year to now, he's way more strategic with his explosiveness. Sorry.
Yeah, and then plus too, do you want him to do a 360 dunk
on
Joel Embiid, or do you just want him to just dunk on Joel Embiid?
Just bang it.
I'll take a finger roll. Pretty off the glass. Yeah.
Well, that's what I loved about D-Rose, prime D-Rose. I mean, he just did them like he was a power forward dunks. You know what I'm saying? Just them bang, them behind the head, boom.
Yeah. Okay.
Freak of nature.
Because I only bring that up is because I remember like when we got Melo, I was maybe like 15, 14 years old. And so I'm watching Denver Nuggets highlights and Melo dunking on people. And
man, I'm taking my ass to sleep. Did you say you was 15? Did you say you was 15 when you got Melo? I'm going. Good night, everybody. God, bro. You make me feel old, bro.
I felt old enough already. Now you really got me.
I'm 27 now, so I had to be like 15, something like that. Yeah,
Melo? Melo joined us in 2013 and 2012. So
in 2000. No, it was 2011, right?
Yeah, 2011.
Okay, so about 16.
Dang.
I wasn't. Hold on, I'm tripping. I was like,
God, has it been that long already? Oh my!
It's been what? It's been like 10, 11 years.
10, 11 years gone by already, bro.
But I remember I saw him dunking, and when he got to the Knicks, he never dunked the ball, and I was kind of disappointed. But
because Melo started eating good in New York.
Yeah, Melo. When Melo stopped dunking the ball, he wasn't that old, man. Like when Paul Millsap blocked Melo, he wasn't old. He just was like
he's about Randall age.
Yeah,
I mean he wasn't in the most pristine shape because younger Melo used to have a crazy first step for a 6'8", 240 guy. Like his first step was crazy. Like that's why you put you in that triple threat. You go for one fake, he's already going to the layup. He's going
already
to the layup or dunk.
But I mean, we've seen it over the years with some guys. Like all of a sudden they start getting that mid-range shot, and they're starting to hit them shot. I'm like, bang! I can start hitting this.
Right, Melo's game was always pretty, but he was explosive at one point. And that goes, it don't get talked about enough, but Melo.
But you got to.
I mean, look at Michael Jordan. I mean, when Michael Jordan was younger, I mean, it was all about getting to the rim and the fancy
I mean,
dunks and layups.
you got
And then
you
he
guys
started hitting
remember?
them mid range.
Yeah. You guys remember when Allen Iverson was younger, his rookie seasons, his first 2 years, he would try to like dunk on people every single time, and
Yeah.
then he realized, let me chill out, save my knees a little bit. I'll just take the layup. That's kind of what Donovan Mitchell's been doing. Like he'll be explosive when he needs to be, but for the most part, he'll take the layup. He'll opt for the side step, like he step back jumper off the dribble jumper. Like he's been focusing on taking a lot more of those. So like
Mhm.
I think when we talk about his prime, which is going to be maybe 2 years from now, because people plateau around 27, 28, he's going to be a better shooter than he is right now. Like he's going to be taking a ton more threes.
I mean,
Like
he's got all those comparisons to like D Wade, and he at this stage in his career, he's a better shooter than D Wade was.
Like people, I hear that comparison all
what
the
we got
time.
to say, he's smaller than D Wade. He's
I don't
actually
think
not
Wade
smaller.
like. I don't see the comparison between him and D Wade. Like game wise, size, strengths and weaknesses.
They have. It's like he's like a
They look
miniature
pretty
version of
similar
Wade
to me.
as far as build. Like he's like a miniature version of Wade as far as build. He's like 2 inches shorter than Wade.
I think
but he has
y'all.
like.
Why do y'all keep making him so much shorter? He's 6'2".
No, I mean, no. I'm not making him shorter. I'm just comparing him to Wade.
But it just seems like every time, like when Knicks fans talk about him and like
right?
talk bad about his height, he goes down to 6'1" to 6 foot. Like he keeps shrinking.
That's not a, yeah, I'm not knocking him for that at all.
I
But
mean,
he's
D
like,
Wade was listed at 6'3", but he was like
He is not.
he was probably closer to 6'2".
Frank got bigger every offseason. Frank was
he was
6'3",
6'4",
got
man.
drafted. Then he was 6'4", then he was 6'5", then he was 6'6".
but you know what made Wade like special? The same thing that makes Donovan Mitchell special is the extremely long wingspan for their height.
Oh yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Wade almost had a 7-foot wingspan, so that helped him as far as finishing.
Yeah, but Wade was a better defender,
post player. Wade had an amazing post game
early. You know what I'm saying? But like, but Mitchell already has a better jump shot than Wade had early.
Oh, then Wade had lead.
Yeah, well, yeah. Even
Hey,
I was trying to give Wade a little credit later.
I'm sorry, bro. Hey, man. Almighty finesse. My driver's license say 6'5", right? I'm legit. So Uncle Sam measured me at 6'5", point something, bro. I saw Dwayne Wade, bro. Me and Dwayne Wade are not even close. I'm telling you, I can stand and look in the top of Dwayne Wade's head like that. Dwayne Wade is not 6'4", bro.
He just built.
I promise you, bro. I ain't just saying this stuff just to say some stuff, bro. Like Dwayne Wade legit is not 6'4". Like when we put shoes on, you know how you put shoes on and give you like that extra half inch or so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even with shoes on, Dwayne Wade is not 6'4", bro. I promise.
That's that NBA height.
Yeah, that's the NBA. Yeah, my man ain't no. I think Shane Battier said one time that Dwayne Wade was the best 6'2" shot blocker he ever saw. And then when I thought about 6'2", I was like, is Dwayne Wade 6'2"?
Yeah,
he might be. I don't know.
Yeah, he always looked bigger. Pause. He always looked bigger on the court.
He played big.
man.
That's what it is.
Well, just like a lot of people said, Barkley's really only about 6'5".
Yeah,
me and Barkley are about the same height, man. I look
like Barkley a little bit, man.
But he was listed at like 6'6", 6'7".
Are you Charles Barkley free?
Yeah, I know. I'm Gnarls Barkley.
Yeah, Gnarls Barkley.
I'm Gnarls Barkley. Y'all must be crazy.
I remember when.
yeah, man.
You know who we got all the way messed up, and like sometimes when I'm down, I just watch Nick highlights. And so I was watching Jalen Brunson highlights the other day, and Jalen Brunson caught like 3 bodies last year, like dunked on people.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And I was like, "Excuse me." Like he's not a slouch. He can every now and again he shows some explosion. Every now and again,
it's like, the shiftiness, man. He has like
and
he has
you don't expect it.
He has agility, and he knows how to play off of leverage too. Like he'll abuse the hell out of some leverage. If he knows what way you're going, he's gonna snap the ball right back the other way.
He's gonna be good for a long time, man. Like he could be an old man still playing the same way and effective.
Yeah, because he played like an OG dude,
He
you know,
do.
at the
Yeah.
park. You know, like he'll
That's
be
why,
able to back dudes down when he's like 40. Come on.
that's why I think RJ is a good investment too.
Yeah.
Because RJ is gonna, I think he has a lot of years in him. As long as he doesn't suffer like any catastrophic, injuries, knock on wood.
Don't be
You
saying
know
it.
what I think? I think it might sound kind of blasphemous, but I think Jalen Brunson's game is kind of a mesh of Kyle Lowry and Van Vliet, but with more of a scorer's mentality. If he's next to a guy that's already a dominant on ball guy. But like a lot of his game is very heady. He knows how to get to where he needs to go. He's also at the top of the league in charges almost every year, which is what Kyle Lowry does year in and year out. And you don't think of Kyle Lowry as like a high end assist man, like a guy that's gonna get 10 assists a night, but he'll get you 6 or 7.
Yeah,
within the flow of the offense.
It seems like it'd be clutch too.
Exactly.
It'd be like, yo, how Chris Boucher get so wide open? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Kyle. Yeah. Hey, so I want to ask you guys the scoring machine thing one more time, but I want to ask you this. I want to ask you guys this after the fact. Are in real time, the Knicks wanted to sign Kyle Lowry. Knicks fans wanted Kyle Lowry, and Knicks fans also wanted Chris Paul. In retrospect, do you guys regret that we didn't get Kyle Lowry or Chris Paul, or are you appreciative that long-term thinking paid off?
I regret we didn't get Chris Paul.
Okay.
Because I think Chris Paul, prime Melo, give Miami a run for their money.
Okay.
I don't regret we didn't get Kyle Lowry because I feel like by the time the Kyle Lowry thing came up, like I don't.
What year was that? What year was that when we were looking for
2016, right?
No, not that trade. I'm talking about recently.
I'm
talking about recently. Are you glad that Chris Paul chose the Phoenix Suns over the Knicks?
No, I'm not.
And are you glad that Kyle Lowry chose the Miami Heat over the New York Knicks?
I'm glad they both chose those over the Knicks because we suck, and I don't think adding them would have made us not suck at that point in time, at least.
And the thing is, to me, with what we got brewing right now, that they're both too long in the tooth in the process of what our team is. The moment the moment in our build and come up, like they're too old to take advantage of that. You know what I'm saying?
Because Kyle Lowry gets away with a lot in Miami because it's Miami that he would not get away with in New York.
Right.
Like being overweight, being a man player for most of last season. Yeah. Like the media here wouldn't let him get away with that. Yeah. But like the NBA, like Miami's like a media darling. They can do no wrong. So I think he gets away with a lot more down there than.
I mean, Chris Paul's still playing at a pretty high damn level. You know what I'm saying? I got to give him credit. I mean, I'm a player efficiency rating guy. I like that stat too. And like right now, actually, Brunson had a better PER than Lowry.
Yeah, I think Brunson's better than Lowry at this point.
But Paul is still, he's up there.
Yeah.
So, but
I'm interested.
I don't know.
And I don't mean this in like a facetious way or like a any malice, but I'm interested to see when Chris Paul falls off. Like what does that mean? And has it happened already? And he's just that good, like that great of a basketball mind that it doesn't matter. He's still good even after the fall off.
Right.
Like,
you mean is he picking and choosing his spots now?
Right.
As opposed to okay, Coach, I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead.
I was going to say is Chris Paul thinking the game at a higher level in his later years, or is he still able to depend on his athletic ability that God blessed him with?
Well, he to make another football analogy, is he reminds me of that there's defenders in the league like I'm a Bucks fan. I can speak on this with like Rondé Barber and like guys like him and like Derek Brooks, like early in their career they counted on their obvious athleticism, but as you get older and more wiser, you start to compensate for your inability to get from point A to point B by knowing where point B is going to be earlier.
Right.
So you get that illusion of that you're still quick to get to that spot, but really you just process everything a lot faster because you're an older, wiser, smarter player.
Or you baited them into doing something that benefits you.
Right.
Like Rondé used to do. Like Rondé would bump and sag off, give quarterbacks the illusion the receiver was open, but he was actually just playing zone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like in the park, like when I was younger and I was playing and I was getting by my athleticism. I mean, I used to be able to bang it. I'm only 6 foot tall, but I can jump. So I used to be able to bang it on the playground, and drive to the rim hard. But then, I had a torn ACL and I gained a whole bunch of weight, and then all of a sudden I became a point forward. All of a sudden I could pass. I was like, dang, I was always good at, I changed my game because I couldn't play above, up by the rim anymore. I was like, big pun, air pun, like Julie Blum was saying in the chat. So like,
and coach, like what Chris Paul is doing is incredible when you think about it. Because
at that position,
at that size, he's still arguably a top 2 player on a contending team. Like that's incredible. Like think about the guys that were in his class and league coming up, like a Deron Williams. Like Deron Williams fell off 10 years ago, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And it used to be an actual discussion about who was better.
Mm-hmm.
Right, him and Ray Felton.
Yeah, Raymond Felton. Yeah, out of North Carolina, it was an actual discussion like which one of those 3.
Yeah. Deron used to cook CP3. He actually was cooking.
Deron Williams used to cook everybody.
Everybody, bro.
Darren Williams was Donovan Mitchell in Utah before Donovan Mitchell.
But there's something to say that for guys that take care of their bodies to the nth degree.
That too, yeah. He went to Brooklyn.
Like that's he got big. Like Chris Paul had those knee injuries for a while, and he's like been on his health focus and taking care of his body. But a lot of that he borrowed from LeBron because LeBron literally spends like $1 million on his body every year.
Right, private jets, everything. Yeah,
they drinking Tom Brady's blood, bro.
Something.
Dracula. That's what Tom Brady when he had that 11-day break. He was going to that secret TB12 lab and get his clone out of there.
Brooklyn didn't do him any favors either. Like you went and brought that man Joe Johnson, Kevin Garnett, and Paul Pierce.
Yeah.
And Jared Wallace.
Yeah, like all over the hill.
And the over the hill game. A loose ball on the floor. Everybody watched it go out of bounds.
Yeah, because I'll be honest with you, like a couple of people were talking like, man, Chris Paul, he might be kind of falling off a little bit, and then he kind of had that little rebirth. Like he kind of went to Phoenix, like kind of like an afterthought.
Chris Paul all of a sudden,
I mean, he took the Thunder to the playoffs. Like he never really fell off.
He has like 4 different versions.
Yeah, but that was a surprise. It was like a surprise to everyone.
You have the New Orleans to me. You have the New Orleans Chris Paul. Then you have the Lob City Chris Paul. Right?
Yeah, he had so many weird
Then you got the Houston Chris Paul. Where everybody thought it was over.
Right.
And then he goes
there's different iterations where he's like scoring first on Houston. Like he was straight ISO. I'm gonna get a bucket. And then he turned back, he morphed back into whatever his team needs.
Then the Oklahoma City Chris Paul.
Yeah. Who carried
the mentor. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't call them scrubs, I guess, but they weren't nothing without him. But think about it, when he went to Phoenix, they weren't supposed to be good.
No, then all of a sudden, like Devin Booker was like
good, but not this good.
Got ridiculous.
Solid. It was supposed to be like a late seed playoff team. Like,
all right, so Dre, let me do this just real quick, just real quick. Okay. So let's do this for this last hour or so, right? Which do you prefer? Right? Remember I asked that question. Which do you prefer? the scoring machine or the clutch guy. Now, let me ask you this: what type of scoring machine do you prefer? Do you prefer the James Harden very heavy scoring, heavy assist scoring machine, the playmaker, so to speak, or do you prefer the walking bucket that I don't have teammates on offense? I'm the man.
I'd have to.
Okay, let me.
I'd have
Do
to.
you
mean like
prefer
the ball dominant scoring machine or the guy that
the playmaking? Yeah.
Because they're both
I like-
ball dominant in different ways, though.
Yeah,
Right.
I like the ball dominant one, like the opposite of James Harden. I like when you have a point guard like a Chris Paul. Right.
Yeah, because you can fill a roster around.
So you prefer a Kobe? You prefer the Kobe Bryant scoring machine?
Right. Like if you can give me Chris Paul and Kobe or Chris Paul and Melo, I prefer that over a James Harden. Who just
Once you do like a player centric, everything is about one guy. It
That's
kind of
LeBron.
it's hard for like the rest of the team to be in rhythm once that one machine gets slowed down. And like a lot of these teams can't really function without this one key cog. And like for instance, that was one of the reasons why the Rockets teams before Chris Paul were struggling to make deep runs, is because after you take the head of the snake out, there's like the next move is considerably less, and there's no cohesion, and like he's not hitting the guys in their shooting pockets, and like it's just a junk. It's just like it turns into a junk offense after you shut down the initial pick and roll.
Well, I don't think you could shut down a Kevin Durant though, bro.
No,
No, I was talking about Harden. I was talking about Harden.
Okay,
Harden player-centric offense. The Harden, the one guy that does everything: pass, shoot, score. Like that. I don't think that's like feasible for consistent winning.
Well, that's the kind I would prefer, because, like, to me, someone that's like that can at least get that, because like I said before, like them scoring machines, they're gonna get theirs. But to win the game, that second guy's got to step up too. You know, so
Greeny from LI is in the building.
Salute.
What's good, Greeny?
Yo, what's good, y'all? How y'all doing, fellas? Shout out to y'all.
What's good, Greeny? Hey man, ain't seen you in a minute, bro. Where you been?
I mean, I'll be in I just got out the gym, man. I'll be on my late night grind. I'm in the gym right now. I'm just leaving the gym on my way home from work. So I put in a lot of work.
Salute, man. Good for you. Get that work in.
Sleep like a baby, then.
I'm trying to
I'm about
make
to
this
sleep
Knicks
like a
so
baby.
y'all don't got to worry about no more point guard issues.
I don't know if y'all can see my
Jam said
eyes.
he about to sleep like a baby.
I don't know if y'all can see my eyes. I'm about to sleep I'm about to sleep real good.
My bad. I ain't mean the scoring machine thing, man. I didn't mean the scoring machine to get you riled up, man. My bad.
I think adding that point guard like a Rondo or a Chris Paul to separate the duties is a fail safe, right? Like when you have it all in one player or all in one, like if that guy isn't getting it done, it's over. Or if that guy says, okay, tonight I'm just not passing the ball and I'm going for 50, there's no fail safe, right? But when you have that other mind outside of the score, like the scoring machine, I feel like that gives you a out. Like, okay, Chris Paul or Rondo could tell Kobe or Melo, no, we going this way. We doing this, we doing that. You know?
Like it could work in the regular season, but when you're in the playoffs and the whole defense is designed to stop one person or your number one option, you have to have a way to resort out of that. Which is
so ultimately, you're saying, you guys are saying that you're okay with moving forward, because this is what it sounds like to me. You're okay going forward the next 4 years with Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson, a scoring machine with a facilitating point guard.
Yeah, I just wish so badly that one of them were like just 6'4". Like
so do they, champ. So do they.
And I'm only saying that like I'm more than happy to take them together. I'm like more than happy, but like I think I said it yesterday. I want them to play significant minutes without the other on the floor. I want to see Donovan Mitchell at that guard position. I think
they both play bigger though than that, man. They really do.
No, they do. They do.
Especially Mitchell.
I just want us to be ready for the playoffs. When I believe it's a surety that a good coach, especially a good defensive coach like Ime Udoka or somebody like that, like even Doc Rivers is a good defensive coach. They're gonna find a way to disrupt that small backcourt, and I want us to have other wrinkles, something else to go to, like a Donovan, RJ, Cam like lineup at a time, or like I don't want to
Yeah,
have
yeah.
something to go to.
And
Yeah,
And
Hartenstein
not even on
at
just
the 4.
offense. Not even on just offense. I
right.
feel like eventually down the line, we're gonna have to target someone like
Yeah,
Freezy mentioned, like a Jonathan Isaac,
yeah,
like
because we're gonna need to get
the
stops.
stretchy. Yeah, we're gonna need to target a guy that can basically do everything on defense to
Bring
just
me OG
be someone.
Anunoby and Jonathan Isaac.
I
If
think
you
that's
if
obvious.
champ, I'm gonna just say this because I know you're getting tired, man, and I appreciate you rocking with us. You know, it ain't even the same. Like the conversation ain't even the same without you being here, man. We value your input. But enough of that softy. Enough of that softy stuff. Let me move on to this though. If you get Donovan Mitchell, my belief is that you gotta have a Jonathan Isaac. Jonathan Isaac has got to be the next move. I don't care about all the stuff to go around. Celebrate Donovan Mitchell. Whoop-de-doo, yay, we finally did it. It only took you 89 days to do a
Yeah.
trade. It only took you 94 days to do a trade. Yay, whoop-de-doo. Go get Jonathan Isaac, hurry up.
Mhm.
Before OG,
But I want OG Anunoby too, but I want to get
Freezy
Jonathan
greedy.
Isaac first.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
But
you're right.
here's the thing: like even if it ain't those names, it's gotta be guys like that. I mean,
That fill that skill set.
Mhm.
Yep.
because we filled certain voids we had with the signing of Brunson and even Hartenstein. He
Mhm.
solidified a position with Hartenstein. Okay, so now the last thing is that consistent bucket guy, and that's where Mitchell comes in. A guy that's going to take the heat off Randall and Barrett, so they can do what they can do comfortably. So the next move is like you were saying, those roster guys that we need a defensive stopper guy in the front court and in the back court.
If
So
if we can only get one of those guys, coach, what do you think about bringing up a Ferran Hunt to spell some minutes,
Yeah.
like as a backup plan, not as our plan A? But
Oh yeah. As a, definitely.
and I'm not meaning to not mention Grimes as a possibility for that
I
role,
think,
but
I think he's going in that.
we all
point.
know that it's probably gonna be him and Obi, or him and or an IQ or whatever. One of the combination of the whatever that's gonna be part of this deal. That's the only reason why I'm not including them in this conversation.
Hey champ, let me say this real quick though. You notice that, and this is I'm careful about the people that I'm picking for this option. You notice everybody that I'm selecting as an option is the same age as Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
That time. That listen.
Yeah, that timeline. So these next 4 years, everybody the same age is synergetic.
They coming up together.
Somebody, I forget who it was, but I saw it on Twitter. It was like a video, and it was on some sports network, and they were running down the lineup of the Knicks with Donovan Mitchell, and even with Julius Randle in it, and nobody was over the age of 27.
Yeah.
Like, how many teams honestly have that? Right. A bunch of high quality players, NBA starters, right, in that age range, like pretty much in your prime.
Right.
Like Julius is the vet, quote unquote, in that starting lineup.
Right. Even though Brunson is the leader.
Right.
Julius would be the vet. Brunson and RJ would be the leaders. Right. That's what you prefer, right? Or I'm even open to the Jay Crowder trade of Julius Randle to the Suns for Jay Crowder, a first round pick and a second round pick. You know what I'm saying? Either Jay Crowder stays, or you package Jay Crowder, Derrick Rose, and Evan Fournier to the Lakers for Russell Westbrook, so that you can waive him, but you get the Lakers 2 unprotected picks down the road. So you traded to get Donovan Mitchell, but you also get unprotected back in return. So now, in theory, all you gave up was a couple of young guys and a couple of unprotected picks.
Because I think what we're focusing on now in this scenario is offensively we're going to be set. I don't think we're going to have any problems offensively. But we're going to be really without these big wings, we're gonna be real limited in what we can and can't do. So which is why I agree, because State's big thing. Shout out to State is we can't trade Cam Reddish, and I kind of agree with him in that sense. We need a Cam Reddish, and we have a Cam Reddish.
Mhm.
So if there's a way we can hold on to him, I think we have to try.
Who would you prefer though, OG Anunoby or Cam Reddish?
OG Anunoby.
Yeah, it's one of them things. We got to make those difficult decisions.
Yeah,
Though.
OG.
I like
See,
Cam
I'm
Reddish,
gonna be
bro.
the
Y'all
one
know
that
how I feel
say
about
I'm
Cam.
gonna be the one that say Cam. I'm in the boat with you, Free. I want Cam over OG. I'm not saying necessarily OG is better than Cam, but I want Cam over OG. I think his offensive side is
Yeah,
better than OG's.
and we ain't got to give up nothing either
OG is
But
so efficient
to
though.
get him.
yeah,
OG
but
is
look at
efficient.
OG Anunoby
Yeah,
plays
OG's
with
nice.
he
I
plays
like
within
OG's
the
play
offense, and his defensive rating is bonkers, bro. You don't get dudes. You just can't find dudes with defensive ratings of 108 at wing defense. A wing defender that's got a 108 rating, bro. That's the reason why I'm hell bent on getting Jonathan Isaac, because he's a wing defender and his net rating is Scottie Pippinish, 102 for his career.
And
Not
both
just
of those
102
guys,
for.
But
are really fresh.
I
Because they
think
ain't played a lot of games
Jonathan
with us.
Isaac is a good. My bad. Can't change.
No. I've been talking all night, Greeny. Go ahead, man. I've been talking all night.
I was gonna say I think the Jonathan Isaac move is a good move, but I think the Knicks have to do that move after they have established their offensive gauntlet already. Like after they know that they're an offensive team, because what really is Isaac gonna do if we give him the ball and we tell him to go get a bucket? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
But you don't
our
go get
team
him for that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Our team has to be so nice in the offense already that he doesn't have to do that. He could play
Only way you
Jaren
do that
Jackson
deal is
role,
if you
just
get
get the
Donovan,
ball and
though.
shoot.
If you don't get Spider,
Yeah.
if you don't get Spider, you don't make any moves. You just play the kids. Play the kids. Play the kids. Play the kids.
Yes, I agree.
Right? If you don't trade for Donovan Mitchell, right? Just play the kids, man. Yeah, forget all this other stuff. Just play the kids.
Yeah, I agree. Like if you don't get Donovan, Leon, just
play
turn
the
your phone
kids.
off and just go into the training camp.
Yeah, just play the kids, man.
I
And
mean,
just
if we don't get Donovan, we just wait to the deadline and get him. Really?
Yeah,
We're gonna get him at the deadline.
It depends on how things are looking. Like if we stink, then I don't even know if we do that.
If we stink, why try to salvage the season?
Yeah.
If we stink, just go into the draft and get your guy. Go get Victor W.
And if we're good, do you mess with that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It gets real tricky.
If the kid's balling, why trade him away?
It get tricky.
Yeah.
But that's a good problem to have.
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
How do y'all feel about that? What happened if Cam and RJ really emerge? Do y'all really want to still go get Donovan?
No,
I don't see the point at that point. I mean, it's
right. And what do you mean? What do you mean as emerge? So clearly, state
if they come, like if RJ is averaging 25 on like 40 and 37, and Cam is coming off the bench averaging like a strong 16. You know what I mean?
40 and 37. Yeah, I'm still going to get Donovan Mitchell.
40% from the field.
Yeah,
40% from the field and 40 and 37 on 25.
I need
25 points per game on 40% shooting. It's nasty.
It's terrible.
Shoot too much.
Yeah,
you're taking 20 shots a game to get there.
Yeah. No,
the only way that would be cool.
That's what he would have averaged last year if he averaged 78% for the free throw line.
Yeah. All right about that.
Yeah, and if he wouldn't have had that bad first month, remember the first month of the season, he averaged 18 points a game. If he'd have just averaged 20 in that month, RJ would have averaged around 21 point something points a game.
I think if RJ is averaging 22 on 44% shooting from the field, 37 from three, Cam is averaging like 17, 18, then I think you just leave it alone and let it cook.
Leave it alone, just let it rock.
And you let it cook.
Yeah, because there's something to be said about
this. Especially if IQ is efficient.
Yeah.
And he's giving us like 12, 13 points. You know?
I love IQ, bro. I'm getting a Emmanuel Quickly tattoo on my heart later on today, yo.
Hey.
Me and EG 14,000. We gonna go get matching tattoos. He getting Hartenstein. I'm getting Quickly.
I tell you what, like if RJ and Cam are showing they can be Tatum and Brown, like we going somewhere. Because that's what that's showing in my. Like, if they do that next season, like that's. I mean, can they even get better, more like better than that? Like that's where you got to start asking those kind of questions. So, like, unless you plan on putting Donovan Mitchell in the spot that Jalen Brunson is in, then I don't.
I can see them all, champ. I can see
possible.
all the scenarios.
Like
I can see all the scenarios.
You go
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo.
So what's the
Scenario?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
I might do that if RJ and Kim are blown up. Go get Donovan to play the point guard position. I mean,
He's gonna do what he's gonna do with Brunson.
At that point, I'm sorry.
I think Brunson gonna ball, man. I think Brunson is gonna ball for the Knicks. Man. I really think he gonna ball with that blue and orange on his chest. I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
I think
I got a really strange feeling about Brunson.
Hey, man, I got a strange feeling. I got a feeling that tonight is gonna be
a good night.
Yeah, man. So champ, I'm totally bought into the point guard center three wings. I don't want to buy into the point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward center. I don't want to buy into that.
Outdated.
I want to buy into a primary playmaker, ball handler, 3 wing
Center.
players, and a center, just like what the Phoenix Suns do.
Yeah,
If
point
you
guard,
notice-
post, and 3 athletes.
Question:
Right.
The Raptors do.
Did you see that Jalen Rose video
I
About
keep
his
clicking
wife?
on it, and
About his wife?
about
Is that one?
Porzingis?
Oh no, I don't know.
But it said I don't know how Jalen Rose would possibly know this, so it's probably just nothing. But when he was like, that's why the Knicks are secretly making calls to Washington about Porzingis.
No.
Like
No, I've heard that rumor
I
too.
heard that too.
From somewhere else.
Porzingis, and I'm gonna play devil's
I'm not
advocate
in the
here.
no camp on that. It
I'm gonna play
depends on the
devil's
situation.
advocate here. Do you hate a Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, RJ Barrett, Porzingis, Mitchell Robinson lineup?
I don't hate it, but it's
I
just
don't
like
hate it.
But it's like, what do we have to give up to even make that happen?
But
I don't know. Probably nothing. Is it better than the lineup we have now with Julius Randle though? Is the question, I guess.
You know what that means, champ? If you don't mind, if you don't mind, it makes me think that the Knicks are giving up on Obi.
Yeah. You know how I feel about KP? It's like,
but think about the
I'm not
players
going
we're
into
talking
the-
about here. Like, just you're talking about KP and Randall. They just have so many more pieces of their game. Like Obi's a one-dimensional player, bro.
But
I want to love Obi so bad.
Oh, what have I done? This is about to get nasty. I done set fire to the chat.
But yeah, and coach, I'm not making this an Obi Toppin referendum.
No, I know.
I'm not. But what I'm saying is just because you make a point don't mean that we all think linear about what was said. Sometimes when somebody makes a point, our thought processes sprout in a lot of different directions. Mm-hmm. You know that. You know that, man. And so it's not that I don't want Porzingis. It just makes me think like if Leon Rose is willing to trade Obi, that means Leon Rose is legit willing to correct mistakes that he made since he's been here.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. I'm not just talking about, I want to see Obi dunk. No, that's not what it is. It's Leon Rose. Leon Rose realizes that he made some mistakes, and he's willing to correct mistakes.
Wasn't the trade before Leon, though? I think the trade was before Leon, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was.
It was before Leon.
He's talking about trading Obi. He
drafted Obi.
I mean, there is a scenario where if we did bring in KP and Obi stayed and Randall was the one that was left, that there could be a lineup where, when Robinson goes on the bench for a little bit and then Obi comes in and KP runs the center spot.
Nah, man.
That'll be so great offensively, but so terrible defensively. We score a lot of points. Like if Mike D'Antoni was our coach, give me that lineup right now. We
Hey,
scored
I was just
145
trying to be
points a
nice to the
game.
Obi people, but
Gotta be nice.
Shout out to the Obi fans.
I was trying to
everywhere.
give them a little some breadcrumbs.
That
Yeah.
lineup would score 145 points a game and give up 160.
And not even be tired. They won't even be tired.
I like you.
Yeah.
You ever like see an ex on Instagram and it's just like they could be looking fine as ever, but you wouldn't want to go back there. It's like it's already dead and gone and done. That's how I feel about KP, man. I'm not even trying to bring that back. It's done. That's dead. That's done.
I'm just thinking of skill set because I've heard Knicks fans all summer long say they want their 4-man on this with that Donovan Mitchell line on TV to be able to catch and shoot,
Right.
to be able to defend the rim.
Yeah.
Right. Who better than Kristaps Porzingis to fill those needs?
Right. And I think personally that Porzingis would love a scenario where he can go back to playing the 4 and not play the 5.
And
I think he would love it.
And let's be honest, Mitchell Robinson and Porzingis were always supposed to be the front line. Kristaps didn't stay long. I think he got traded the year before Mitch or something to that effect. Like the same year we drafted Mitch, did he get traded?
He was hurt. His ACL was out. And Mitch was here. They were here on the same roster, but
they were here on the same roster. Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's sort of like a Cleveland light front line because Mobley's probably a better defender than Porzingis, I think.
You know, you explaining the guy we got already, right?
Who's that?
And Hartenstein.
I'm telling you, bro. EG, where is it coming out of the woodworks?
Yeah.
I think if it wasn't all of that baggage and history attached to KP, more Knicks fans would be saying his name.
I just think it would be odd seeing him in the
bring
city.
Back Porzingis and Melo. They both bring them both back.
It just bring him. I think it'd just be odd to see Porzingis in New York wearing
a little homecoming,
like
number 8. I just want to see Porzingis in the old number 6, but I know it's not possible.
They can't hate anybody more than they hate Julius. Julius Randle has made Porzingis likable to Knicks fans. Like I think Knicks fans miss Porzingis.
Yeah, and a champion. You know what I would do? I know it's gonna sound crazy. Right? But I would trade Jay Crowder and whoever is left out of Rose and Fournier to Washington for Kristaps Porzingis, John Norman's contract. That's what I would. That's what I would do because he makes $33.7 million.
That's the only downside. But
he's got what, 2 years left?
Yeah, and I'm not of the belief that he's finished. If that makes sense. Like
I mean, he produces when he's on the court. It's just you gotta stand on the court.
And you know what, champ? Though here's the thing, though, champ. Everybody that we mentioned getting is on the Spider Mitchell timeline.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, Porzingis and Donovan Mitchell are around the same age.
Yep.
We think Porzingis is like 31. You know, 31. Porzingis is like what, 26?
Yeah,
maybe about 27. Maybe.
He has to be.
Look it up.
I'm not against it. I mean, I don't know if I want all of the storylines attached to it. I think that might be annoying. But
yeah, he's 27. He just turned 27.
Just turned.
Yeah. I think, and I could be wrong, but I think it'd be a love affair if you bring Porzingis back to the Garden. I think Knicks fans will fall back in love with him, and Porzingis will fall back in love with Knicks fans. I think it'll be like.
Can you elaborate on that though?
Yes, like I think both parties are always what the other one needed, and they just didn't notice it. Like Kristaps Porzingis hasn't been happy or as successful since like the trajectory he was on, or healthy. And Knicks fans have found out that the grass is actually always greener on the other side because we got Julius Randle, and now they hate him.
Yeah, and you know what Knicks fans also found out when they traded away Porzingis? That hitting in the lottery is not easy.
It's not.
Because they hit in the lottery with Porzingis, right? Porzingis is a home run, right? And then, man, just Porzingis, man, we'll just get another guy. We'll get those first round picks and we'll just get another Porzingis. Okay. Really? How's that worked out so far? Have you hit on that first round pick in the thing did you hit on Porzingis with the draft picks you got from Dallas? No, you did not, because one of them led to Quentin Grimes. Is Quentin Grimes a home run? Would you if think about this? Would you Porzingis in his prime versus Grimes as a rookie? Would you have done that deal? No. No. And you have to look at Grimes as a rookie because that's all we got to go by. You can't project what Grimes' prime is going to look like. That's not fair to either player. Because if I say Grimes is going to be a 30-point per game guy and an elite defender, if he don't live up to that, I'm going to be bashing him every day. Right? So it's not fair to assume that. Right? But I mean, I wouldn't be mad at a Porzingis reunion. I just think it'll look awkward with him with a new number.
Yeah.
Which is that's just
But some Knicks fans want RJ to get a new number.
Yeah.
What Porzingis was 6? Who was number 6 right now?
Man, they retiring Bill Russell number.
Oh yeah, across the league.
Grimes, kind of like 6. But if you have the number, your grandfather did know. But he can change.
Man, he better, bro. But I'm gonna tell you something. If I see a Knick with the number 6 on their back, I'm telling you, I'm their worst enemy off rip. Take the number off and respect Bill Russell.
Yeah, kind of like how baseball did with Jackie Robinson.
Yeah.
Just
take the number off and leave it, man. Come on. You know what I'm saying? Because Quentin Grimes, if Quentin Grimes makes us think about wearing the number 6 and he did nothing in the NBA, his average points per game is his jersey number. Come on, Grimes. Come on, Grimes. Don't do that.
You know, they say actual age, not your shoe size.
Yeah.
I mean, average more than what's on your jersey, man. Unless listen, I'm with it. I think, man.
I mean, is it any different than? I mean, all the other guys you're talking about have been quote unquote injured. OG, Isaac, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, he's no different.
Only downside is his contract. That's it.
Yeah, and if he plays up to it, it won't even be a question anymore.
Right.
I mean, he makes what Randall and Obi make together.
Yeah, and more than that.
I thought I was right about.
I just think it'll be so poetic for our two, because RJ and Porzingis share some like their stories are similar with the Knicks. Not the end of it, but them being drafted and being looked upon as like savior of the franchise. Right. I think RJ and Porzingis doing it together would be poetic.
Poetic justice.
I think it'll be poetic.
Yeah.
Porzingis has a 107 defensive rating.
Yeah, he was an elite rim protector when he was here.
Yeah, that's not bad, bro. That's not really bad. You know
like he was amongst the leaders on like lowest percentage at the rim if you like contested his first few years at least. I don't know.
He went and played with Luka and just said, "Well, if Luka ain't got to defend, I ain't got to defend."
I mean, he was still. He's never been above 110, 111.
Yeah.
He was 110. He was 110 last year.
Yeah. Man.
I'm reading the chat, man, and that's Knicks fans. We're so what's the word? I don't like the word bitter, but we are hard to like. We're not easy to forgive, man,
and not hard to please either.
Right?
We are not. We are not easy to please.
No. What did Porzingis actually do to the Knicks fans?
You know what?
He was on a trash team.
Yeah, but he requested a trade. But he requested the trade because they were already shopping him.
Yeah.
What?
Phil Jackson trying to trade him for Devin Booker
and Jason Tatum. yeah.
And
man.
they didn't want to pay him the max. And so he was like, "Well, trade me then."
Right, and I think the thing that set it off was when Porzingis went into management's office and told them to draft Luka Doncic because nobody knows how good he is right now. He's like, yo, we played against him during the summer, bro. You gotta get this kid. And it's like, nah, man, you talking about in the Zion draft? We ain't going to trade that first round pick. You know what I'm saying? And then it wound up being Zion, and you talking about a dude on but in hindsight, we didn't get Zion. Right? In hindsight, we got RJ. But would y'all have been mad if the Knicks had traded that first round pick that resulted in RJ Barrett? If they would have traded that and the Kevin Knox pick for Luka? And then
Hell no.
But the pick wound up being Zion instead.
No, I'll take Luka.
Okay,
I'll take
okay. Because at the time you don't know what that pick was going to be. Because at the time of that conversation, if you match up timelines, at the time of that conversation, the best players in the country going into college: Quentin Grimes, Cam Reddish, RJ Barrett. Wait a minute, what did I just say?
McDonald's All-American.
I didn't know I didn't. I know I didn't just say that. I know I didn't just say that. At the time of that conversation, the three of the top 10 high school kids was Grimes, Reddish, and RJ. And the Knicks wound up with all three.
All three of them.
Oh, God. I just almost threw. Oh, God.
Luka's, and I don't feel this way about many NBA players. Like I can count on probably one hand. Right. Luka's one of those guys that I believe will win a championship. I have no doubt in my mind he's gonna win a championship.
Okay.
Like I don't feel that way about Devin Booker. I don't feel that way about Donovan Mitchell. I don't feel that way about Zion. I don't feel that way about a lot of dudes. I think eventually he will win a championship. And that's special.
Generational talent. That's what he is. He really is a generational talent, like young savant.
Yeah.
So
like when LeBron hangs it up, it's Giannis and who?
Jokic. Well,
Jokic and Luka.
Like
I feel like the pressure is going to be on Jokic this year.
Don't forget, I think the pressure is not on any of them. I think the pressure is on Joel Embiid.
Ooh, but see, I don't put pressure on big men too, because I don't think you can. I think Dirk is like an outlier.
I'm saying though, but like when you win 2 MVPs, and Dirk got pressure too because he won an MVP and then he choked. He literally couldn't accept his award. He literally couldn't accept his award because he was eliminated from the playoffs before he could. So it's like once you win 2 MVPs, man, there are certain expectations that have to come with it. Even if
think about the people that
win now. So. Go ahead.
But Dre, what about the people that are going to be eliminated from the conversation? Like Kevin Durant, Damian Lillard, James Harden, the dudes that are going to age out of the conversation.
Yeah. That's what. Hey, you want to know a secret, Freeze? That's why you get Donovan Mitchell now. Because 5 years from now, it's going to
wait for them dinosaurs to go.
It's going to be a new league. Wait them out. Go get them now. Keep RJ. All them guys on that timeline, right? Because in about 4 or 5 years,
he's gonna be banging on Bronny's head.
Bro, you sound just like
like
Nick Fury.
All NBA.
Yo, champ sound like you sound like Nick Fury. Like when Nick Fury went to the council.
You gotta get an eye patch.
Yeah, he was like, yo, I know these group of guys don't look like nothing now, but in about 3 or 4 years, they're gonna be the Avengers. And it was like the stupid Avengers and that shit. That's what you get. That was your secret.
Hey, it sounds like the Suicide Squad to me. More like the Suicide. At least the Avengers were heroes. We talking about guys that are cast off. So we talking about Suicide Squad.
Right? Yeah, man.
Remember after the Dynasty Lakers broke up in the early 2000s, and like it was that period of like mayhem where like 3 different teams won a championship. The Pistons won, the Heat won, the Spurs won. Like that era is getting ready to happen again.
Yeah, because they because Boston got old quick.
Right.
All of a sudden.
We got to be in a position.
I think it's already happened since the Warriors.
You think so?
Since the Warriors. I mean, nobody expected
you're right. You
the
might be
Warriors
right.
to. I'm talking about when KD left the Warriors. That's when it's been like mayhem because the Raptors won.
Milwaukee.
And, yeah, and
Bro,
it's just
Dre,
been
I am
like
so Dre. I disagree with you so much right now, bro. I swear,
why
I was trying to hold it in. I'm sorry.
about the Warriors.
I think, I think the Warriors are on the verge of winning 6 out of the next 12 championships.
Hold
You
on,
know
wait.
what it is?
They're like the Spurs right now.
Maybe
They're like the
7
new
out of
Spurs.
the-
So
How much time
you
do you
think
think
they're
Steph
gonna
got left?
win? They're gonna win 2 of the next out of the next 5 years. You think they're gonna win 2?
I'm thinking they're going to win 2 out of the next 3. I think they'll win 2 out of the next 3, and maybe 7 out of the next 12. And here's why. So they have an old guard, a linchpin, and a young guard, right?
Yep.
Think about what I'm saying. So they have a old guard that won championships. You know who they are. I don't have to name them. And then they have a linchpin. They have a linchpin. The linchpin is Andrew Wiggins and the increase in salary cap.
Oh, yep. That's
You
going
know what I'm saying? That's going to
be summer 2010 all over again.
And you know,
everybody's going to be able to get better.
That's the year that you might see a cat like Giannis leave his team and go join a super team. Or that's the year you might see a Jaylen Brown leave his team. If you can't beat them, join them.
Right.
And then people will say, well, man, can Jaylen Brown and Andrew Wiggins win a championship together? Who's going to play point? What kind of guards do they have? Well, they just happen to have a young Jordan Poole and a young Moses Moody in the wings waiting to take over for Clay. And then they're like, well, who's going to play the power forward for them? They just happen to have a young Jonathan Kuminga waiting in the wings, developing. Well, who's going to be their big man? Because you can't pay everybody. They just happen to have a dude that they picked number 2 overall, and Jonathan Wiseman to fill in these things, right? Because now they're like roadies. Anybody know what a roadie is? You know how the roadie, you know what I'm saying, want to be down with the group, but the group make them carry bags. Now Kuminga, Wiseman, Moody, Poole are all like roadies, right? And they got a linchpin and Wiggins, who is a warrior. He's not a Timberwolf. He's a warrior, right? He's a warrior, right? And the increase in salary cap. So that one day when they sitting at the podium, when Steph, Clay, and Draymond are all sitting at the podium retiring together, crying, you know, because you know they're gonna retire together. Y'all know they all gonna retire on the same day. Y'all know that. Because these dudes love to play together. That's what they do. They're gonna all retire together, and what's gonna happen is that torch is gonna be passed to the linchpin. And the linchpin is gonna struggle, right? And then somebody is gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna go play with him because he needs help. And it might be it might be Brandon Ingram, it might be Jaylen Brown, it might be, you never know who it's gonna be in the next couple of years. Right? It's the same thing. It's the same thing with y'all saw how Kevin Durant was all set to sign with Houston, I think, to go play with James Harden. And Steph and them talked to him, and he never left the Golden State area. He never left Oakland. He came in to visit, and he never left. And he played them bro. The Warriors are serious.
It was over after that Hamptons meeting. That Hamptons meeting
that was it.
They planted the seed, and then he thought about it. And it just kept lingering in his head.
He's like, all y'all want me to do is come out here and score? That's all you want me to do? Yep.
You know what I think is going to happen, though? And this is like big hypothetical energy, you know. But I think the biggest unkept secret, I think Jason Tatum in 2 years ends up in LA with Anthony Davis. I think that happened.
I think Ben Simmons is headed there too, bro.
But
I think
we also
I think it's not fair because it always feels like it's the Lakers, but I feel like the next super team is going to be in LA.
But like Freezy, we also like not taking into account like the unforeseen happening. Like a superstar
Yeah.
emerging. Like when LeBron went back to the Cavs, we thought the Cavs were just going to lock everything up for the next 3-4 years, and then
Yeah.
the little light skinned brothers just popped up, and it was
Everywhere.
over. It was over after that.
Everywhere. They was everywhere.
You know what the
You
biggest
like, where did they come from?
We thought LeBron was going to win the next 5.
All these high yellows come from. Remember that term, Freezy, back in the day?
Yeah, man.
You know what the biggest unforeseen would be, Dre? The biggest shifter would be the Knicks being contenders. And the
Hey,
so if the Knicks are like contending for Eastern Conference Finals, and then the salary cap goes up, one of the Knicks suddenly
You sound a little
get to go
muffled.
to New York and be and contend for a championship in New York, and the infrastructure is in place, the talent is there. You just have to add yourself.
Oh man.
please, Lord
Pull
And the
the
Jesus.
next thing
trigger,
you
pull
know,
the trigger, pull the trigger.
pull the trigger.
I mean, you don't got to tell Dolan to spend money at all.
Nah, man. Nah, man. Dolan wants to do just that. But the thing the reason
Freezy froze.
Zip, zip.
He went to the Matrix.
I wanna be your man.
Oh, there you go.
bam, he back. He back. Every time I say Dolan name, that happens. Every time I say Dolan name, that happens. It must be a telecom.
They got
Nah,
they
it
got an
was
algorithm.
It was Coach singing that brought you back. That's what
That's it.
Message in the bottle.
I busted out the Zap and Roger.
Oh, I thought you was singing the police message in the bottle.
I know. You got all digital at the end, like you went down the Matrix.
Computer love.
Drain. California.
Yeah, man.
Hey, they don't know that was that guy.
Yeah, that was Roger.
Yep.
Yeah, but Champ, I just wanted to just say this to Champ real quick. Champ, I was looking at how the Knicks can. So I have it. So in my bedroom, I have a nerd wall, right? I just write ideas up on the wall, and just just to think things out. Because you know how anybody in here ever thought about something and then you lose your train of thought, you can't remember what it is.
all the time.
So instead of me doing that, when I think about it, I just write it on the wall real quick, just jot it down, right, and just explain. So I was thinking like,
man, you responsible with it.
yeah, man, I got to, bro. But I was thinking like, yo, how can the Knicks get to a championship? How can the Knicks start their own dynasty? And it was based off of the conversation we had about Julius Randle to the Phoenix Suns, right? I'm writing it down, and then I was thinking like, well, who can compete with us, right? Who can compete with us if we go out and get Isaac, OG, Spider, and just rock with that timeline. Because if you rock with the 26-year-old timeline, it's basically you in the 616 universe, right? Yeah. You in that's what you rock. You can't be nowhere else. You can't be thinking about 21-year-old kids. You can't be thinking about RJ. Because if your best players are Brunson, Spider, OG, Isaac, Mitch, everybody like in that 25, 26-year-old range, you gotta rock with it. You can't just be thinking about RJ. RJ gotta
come
fit
up.
that.
He gotta
he gotta
play development.
Yeah. And so when I looked across the league, I was like, well, what type of shooting can we get off the bench, right? And then I was like, oh snap, who would compete with us? The only team I could see that has a pathway to compete with us, and right now, and then in the short term, and then in the long term, is the Golden State Warriors. It's them. They're the only ones. Because they're the only ones that have old vets, young vets, and kids that everybody covets.
Right, because Boston doesn't have any kids.
Right, Boston don't have no kids, and they don't have no old vets that you covet.
Right.
But see, they kind of remind me of the Spurs, though. Like the Spurs always had kind of guys and the young dudes in the waiting coming in.
Right.
But eventually, the older dudes stayed around longer than they expected. And so then, like someone like Kawhi, he was like, I gotta go, or whatever that whole decision was that he had to go.
Right.
But then, like, they had a couple guys like that. Like if one of those young guys emerge on Golden State, they might not be gone. You know what I'm saying?
The problem with not the problem, the I guess the problem for the rest of the league, right? With Golden State is Steph is gonna be good for a long time.
Right.
Yeah, because his game, he ain't gonna forget how to shoot. They're like he's counting on his pure athleticism.
Clay is gonna at least be able to be Miami Ray Allen, even when he's older. Even when older, he's gonna at least be able to shoot.
Right.
And we saw him in the finals get better on defense as the series went along.
Yeah.
Draymond is the one that I think will decline before the other two.
His game is
he's in the turn into like a Tristan Thompson, Adonis Haslam guy or something,
Yeah. Or
I mean, I'm not saying it'll fall off like that, but
or he will evolve
and get a jump shot.
Chuck Allen told me something. This morning, man, and it was inspirational and odd at the same time. And so he said when eagles get older, their claws and beaks start to get dull, right? And so the eagles that have dull claws and dull beaks, they either starve to death or adapt. And what they do is the ones that starve to death, you see them, they become food for other eagles, right? And then the ones that adapt, what they do is they bang their head against a stone and break off their beak so it can grow back sharp. And when you see an eagle banging his head against a wall, trying to break the beak, it's the most heartbreaking thing you ever saw. But those eagles are willing to do whatever it takes to live. So they break their beaks off so the beaks can, in 2 weeks, the beak will grow back sharp. And what they do, they go through the temporary pain for long-term health, right? And so you see the difference. Like you see the eagles that transition into the second part of their career, and then you see other eagles on the ground dead, right? The Eagles just chose to starve to death. And cats like Draymond Green, who is polarizing. Draymond Green will either retire and go to his media business and do that full time, because I think Draymond Green can be the next Charles Barkley in the media, right?
Yeah,
he could step away from the game. Yeah, he could step away from the game and be the next Charles Barkley in the media, or he can turn into the guy off the bench, coming in, bringing energy, making the right plays, let Jonathan Kuminga start, share roles, be a mentor on a team, kind of like in the way of a and make less money, but stay around because he enjoys winning with Steph and Clay more than he enjoys collecting paychecks.
Because once he's definitely going to be a high commodity. Once he decides he's retired, Fox, ESPN, Turner,
lining up for him. And he can make that money back. He can make that NBA money in the media.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Some of these media guys made more in the media.
Yeah.
Clyde may have made more money from MSG than he's made playing for the Knicks.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, definitely. No doubt.
You know,
no doubt.
And just the opportunity being in New York, man.
Yeah.
And we talk about how huge the market in the Bay is. So
Yeah. And so the thing is that with the Warriors, they have a ton of options, bro. And the thing about defense and shooting, those are the two things that go away the slowest.
Yeah.
Now your dunking ability might go away, might be your first step might be, you know what I'm saying? Or your speed, explosion, all that stuff. But shooting, knocking down open jump shots, playing defense, those things go away the slowest.
We see Taj out here, damn near 47 years old.
Yeah.
And he's predicting where teams are going on offense and like blowing up plays.
Ray Allen is that UConn guy. Ray Allen is at UConn games all the time, and if you watch like before the game, he'll be out there in a suit shooting.
Yeah.
He's not missing. Like he doesn't miss. Like not rim, not. It's just all net, and the man has been retired for how many years at this point?
Oh,
you don't forget how to do this, like riding the bike.
Yeah.
I'm being honest. Draymond's IQ is too high to just fall off a cliff. Either he physically cannot play anymore, or he just
choose not to.
Yeah,
or he's
exactly.
over.
Draymond could just choose not to and go into doing his passion project.
Yeah, that's
right.
Literally, I don't see him like drastically falling off because
I think he got too much. I think he got too much pride. I think he got too much pride too.
They're gonna have to drag Clay out the league.
Yeah, I think so.
Have to drag him out of the league. He just seems like the type of guy that outside of basketball, he has nothing. Like he's basketball. He seems like he tried to play through that injury. He wanted to come back out and play. Like Klay Thompson is a maniac.
Yo, and he was the dude that make you want to cry, bro. Like with me, man, I done seen plenty of stuff, bro. Listen. So I'm ex-military. I've been in bad stuff, bad places, but like that stuff that y'all be seeing on movies, I've been through a lot of that stuff. That's why when people say stuff, it don't bother me because I already been through worse, right? I already lived through worse. I already been through rehabs and all type of stuff for a lot of different stuff, right? So when people say something, but when I saw Klay Thompson crying, like during the finals, not because of the injury, he crying because all he want to do is play.
Mm-hmm.
And they like, it's okay, Klay. It's all right, Klay. You know what I'm saying? You'll get him next year. He like, no, man, I want to play right now. When you see that man crying because he just want to get back on the floor and play, and he looking at his leg and his leg won't do nothing, and he crying because he just want to play. And right then in that moment, I'm like, Klay, you already have 3 championships, bro.
Right.
You already got 3, but that don't even matter to him. You know what I'm saying? When a grown man just say all he want to do is just get back there and fight with his teammates, bro. There's stuff like that, man. Stuff like that break your heart, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that just tell you what kind of man he is.
Klay's the one guy I see with a career outside of Golden State. Like I think he might play beyond.
He might be the Sacramento Kings backup small forward.
Yeah. The journeyman that like just won't give it up.
Vince Carter.
Yeah. Like he's like Klay's still playing. Yeah, Klay Thompson's still playing.
Yeah.
He played 15 minutes of games on the Timberwolves. You know, he's still playing.
Right.
That kind of guy.
Yeah, man. So and so I just want to before we wrap up, man, just want to say thank you to everybody for coming through and hanging out with us. We tried to stay on topic best we can. September is here. Happy September to everybody. September is going to be a crazy month.
Yeah.
For
happy
multiple
Donovan
reasons.
Mitchell month.
Yeah, happy training camp month.
Media day.
Yeah, man. So thank you everybody for rocking with us. I'm gonna try to get back on schedule, man. It's just been a crazy last 3 weeks, man. Had some personal stuff going on, and so you know how it is. You know what I'm saying? Your mom, you want to go on the air, and your mom on the phone, and her heart broke. So you like, do I get my mom off the phone so I can talk about Tom Thibodeau? Nah. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but the chat
don't do that for you.
But the chat be like, man, Uncle Freezy, where you been? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so man,
Mom Dukes, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate y'all being patient with me as I kind of work through some stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you know, so we're gonna be rocking in the morning in a few hours. Coach, thank you for coming in and being the analyst and all of that. Hey, champ, you already know what it is. You already know. I be trying to. No lie, it's a challenge asking you like these difficult questions. If you notice tonight, I asked you a 2-parter.
Yeah,
I asked you a 2-parter, bro, and you just knocked it out the park. And so, but thank you to everybody else that came in that wanted to jump in and didn't, and blah blah blah. We'll see y'all in the morning, man.
Greeny probably sleep at this point, man.
Yeah,
I'm here, baby. Stop playing with me. I'm cooking.
All right, y'all.
All right,
All right, y'all.
Peace,